Chuffer. Eventually it will say, okay, press the button, go live. Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Super Chuffer. Just done that bit. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is right here. And your left here. We're in mono. Theoretically, this should work now. Second attempt today. Thank you very much, Virgin Media. Thank you very much, Virgin Media. Can I have the internet, please? Please, can I have the internet? Please. Oh, please. Can I have a go on the internet? Go on. You're not using it all, are you? Are you using it all? Can I have a little bit? Can I just have a little bit of internet? Just a little. I think we'll get some. I think we'll get some now. You're all in chat. We're going to be doing Emma White. Let's say hello to you in chat again for the second time today. Nyla Bishop, Chris, Sherry and Jess, Magda, Diane, Slinky Socks, Bonnie, Cheeky Minx, Little Miss Sunshine, JJ Kane, Louise Payton, Sugar Free Life. Hello everyone, Curious Cat. Obviously fewer in chat than there were earlier. We had internet problems earlier. So fingers crossed this will all work. We'll run the stream as if it is going to work. And if it doesn't, I apologise. And we'll just have to do this whole thing again for a third time. But I've got hope. I've got hope. What we're doing today is we are finishing off. We were watching this video of Emma Bulley on... Oh. Don't know why suddenly there'd be an advert there. Okay. Had that lined up, but no. We were watching Emma Bulley... Sorry. What am I saying? Emma White. Been on a work meeting, mate. My brain's out on a work meeting. Been watching Emma White on this morning, and we were reacting to that. We were 2 minutes in. We've got the final 2 minutes of that. Then people have been sending me videos on the old tweeter. You can tweet on the old tweeter. Look, we're live on the internet. We tweet it, tweet it, tweet it, tweet it, tweet it. No one wants to read it. Tweet it. I'm at Informal Films, and that's probably the best place to send me little bits and pieces. I'm also truebinaural at outlook.com, but I don't really... I've seen a few emails, thanks. I've tried to collate some videos together. So we've got this one here, Centuries here, has got a bit of this, a bit of that on their new, more Emma White interviews that you've been sending me. So as many as you send me, I'll try and collate and upload, and we can react to as we go. So we've got this other one today, which I think is originally... This is Hoodle Under Mental Health. They've been in our chat, so big up to Hoodle Under Mental Health. This is originally on GB News, so we've got this one. It's a slightly different one, and I've freeze framed this particular moment where Emma's giving the side eye to this friend, giving it the smile and the side eye, and this friend's outright looking at Emma with the eyebrow. She's outright giving her the eyebrow. So we've got that if we get to that today. If we get to it, that's the plan. That's the setup. We're continuing with our body language analysis and react to Emma White's media presence and interviews. Hooray! This, as I said, we did it the other day. Emma White, more red flags, body language analysis and react. And we're doing it, we're half through a video, so we're back on it. We're back on it. We're not doing Emma White every day, of course. Not like some people in the village. We're not doing, sorry, some people hate it when I do my jokes. We're not doing Emma White every day. Donald Trump just got arrested apparently, dead. But yeah, maybe that's America. Like, I haven't got much to say about it. This is what I'm doing. And tomorrow, in the lead up to Easter, we did discuss it, and I think we will do it. I had a little, earlier on I was rambling. Today I'm not going to do so much rambling now on this front, but I've got another channel, got a battery exhausted B-side channel, where I do other kinds of, I do lives and stuff, bits that I don't think make the main channel end up there. So, like that time we did a 6-hour live react to that narcissist doing an interview. That didn't make it onto the main channel. So I could do the chocolate stuff there. What we're going to do is we're going to make a big list of all your favourite chocolate. And then I'm going to get a picture of each item. And then we're going to go to Tier List Maker. Tier List Maker. This isn't going to be up everyone's street, I imagine, but Tier List Maker, where you make your tier lists of your favourite things. And we're going to make our own tier list of all the chocolate items you suggested, and then we're going to rank them from like highest to lowest. What's the best, what's the worst, best favourite chocolate items. So mainly going to be British in chat. Mainly, I think. We're going to go through the Mars. We're going to go through the Nestle Roundtree, the Cadbury. A few bits and pieces that you tell me need to be on that list. And we'll make a list. We're going to make this tier list. So I was saying we're going to do it on the B side maybe. I'm umming and ahhing. Why don't we just do it on the main channel? It's only two videos. One stream tomorrow where we make the list. And then the next stream for Easter special, where we rank all the favourite chocolate, best and worst, in, you know, just a chilled stream, chatting about chocolate. So we could do that on the B-side, like I said. You tell me in chat, do you want it on the main channel or on the B-side? If you've got no strong feelings, I've got no strong feelings, we might do it on either, probably on the A-side, you know. So we get all that done. That's our Easter special that we wanted to do. We were talking about it earlier. We've said it again. Make sure you sign up to the B-side though. Subscribe to the B-side, because I will be bringing streams to the B-side, and they will be coming and things will be happening. I've also lined up for either this week or next week, you know, keep lining these things up, an interview with a demonologist. So I've got an interview with a demonologist. I've got to send them the questions, get them lined up. They've been on their holidays. Interview with the demonologist, that's coming up. And we've also got another person who I'm lining up who's going to come and talk to me. I've got two of these actually. I'm hoping they're going to come and talk to me about some strange people on the internet who are grifters, who are narcissists, who are all sorts of strange. They're going to come and give me the lowdown from the high ground about these chuffers on the internet. So we're going to have like interviews about these people. It's going to be interesting, trust me. So I've got things coming up. Today is more body language, Emma White. You're already, look, in chat, you're already telling me your favourite chocolate. You don't need to tell me your favourite chocolate now, you chuffers. We're going to do that in its own stream. Deborah Rabbit wants it on the main channel. That's the question. Main channel or B-side? Do you want to see that on the main channel or the B-side? Because what we're going to do is we're going to make our own tier list. We're going to make our own... I don't know if you know about Tier List Maker, but a good example of a tier list... Might as well use my own channel, huh? If you go to my videos, I think it is. I did this a long time ago. Bears. So I was a new streamer a long time ago, 2 years ago, new streamer. And my first tier list ever, I did bears. I like graded what was the best bears. So I did 2 streams of, this is like an edit. You'll like this.
It's insane. I've got some really nice mics. I've got my ASMR.
There's me talking.
Mic.
And what
I
me
look at you.
Looking at you. Learning how to stream. Oh, what?
Your reputation.
Shut up with your adverts. I'm watching my own channel. Yeah, look.
Well
bears.
ranked. Bear.
Look at that bear.
That one. Courtesy of Wildlife SOS. Some fencing. I mean, is this a captive bear, or has this bear been roaming around in some more urban areas? There's a road behind it.
So I looked at the bears and then I rated them on a tier list. So we decided which bear was the best bear, and that's like the concept. I think I'm explaining it well. I think you understand it. So we're going to do it with chocolate. We're going to do it with chocolate, and we're going to do it on this main channel. I think that's the setup. That's the style. We're going to do it tomorrow, lead up to Easter. Going to have it as an Easter special when we do the actual rankings. Okay, right. What's my origin? What do you mean, my origin? My origin story. I'm not a supervillain or like a superhero. I don't have an origin story. Just on the playground in West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playgrounds where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing, sometimes relaxing, acting quite cool. I don't have an origin. What do you mean, my origin? I know my DNA from my dad did his DNA, and I know my, history. I know that I go way back in my family, go way back. We built, I'll have you know, engineers built the Bristol Dry Docks, Edison's Lighthouse, Tennyson, what's he called? Apprentice to Smearton. Right, go way back. Also, the British Raj out in India, Colonel Charles Thorpe out in India, owning a tea plantation, having multiple families. Birmingham accent, yeah, Birmingham area. Birmingham, support the Blues. So should we get on with it? Should we get on with it? I'm not answering any more questions about me. Like, it's not, I didn't do it. Today's not about, it says Super Chuffer there. If you're talking about me and you want to know about me, then watch my content, try and figure it out in your own time. We could do a question and answer stream one day maybe, but now is not the time. This is my link for coffee.com Ganji. If you hit that link and you want to give me a tippies, you give me a tippies through that and it will come up on the screen. I will show you how that works, like this.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier. Swish!
Someone sent tippies. This is a test alert. How exciting. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
That's the system. I get the biggest cut from that rather than YouTube. But I don't mind if you send me tippies on YouTube. Obviously, it's money, and it's all going in the Super Chats fund. Building it up, trying to make media with it. So thank you very much for all of your tippies in advance. That's the system. And let's get going. Yeah, we're about 2 minutes in on this, aren't we? So let's review and remember. And I think it was about here we started, and we only got to about 2 minutes and a bit, and then we stopped and we went on to the other one because it the other video we were watching sort of backed up what we were saying. So we're going to go from about 2 minutes in. And some people have been saying to me that, oh, you don't like the robot voice, Nyla? Sorry, there's only one voice on offer. Other stream services have different voices on offer. So maybe we investigate other stream services in the future. But I'm using Coffee at the moment, and I'm fairly new to streaming, finding my way. The benefit for us is that I don't have to check the other page when it happens. I can just read it off the screen. But I can turn the voice off if you want. Tell me in chat. We'll do a quick poll, voice or no voice, before we get started. I apologise if everyone's like, why is he chuffing? Why is he chuffing? Why don't you just get on with it? We're going to try and get an editor to edit out all of my chuffing and present you with just the facts. That will come in the future as well. But would you want voice or no voice? And I'll put voice. And I'll put no voice. I'd ask you. It's up to you now. You get the choice. You've got about T-minus 5 minutes to vote on that poll and tell me if you want voice or no voice. And whatever comes out on top of the poll, I will choose as the final decision, voice or no voice. I can still read it off the screen. I can still look and read it off the screen myself. It just reads it for us, so I don't have to read it because, lazy. So you got a chance to vote there while I queue up. Yeah, I was going to say as well, some people have said in chat, and I agree with them, oh, you keep stopping it. Let it play, and we can see her saying it, and then you can start doing choppy and end to it. Yeah, that's true, but the more I let it play, the more I get copyright. It's going to come up as a copyright. The more you stop and start it, the less time, and obviously it's not copyright. I'm doing fair use React commentary. So the issue is simply how much I let it play, whether it gets us binned off the internet. So I will try and let it play a bit, but I will have to start it, won't I? So a bit of both. This was early in the morning, we said. Just a quick recap. Early in the morning, she's got all her makeup on. It's the big interview with This Morning, Good Morning Britain. And so Emma's all perky and prepped for this. It's probably the first one she did of the day. It's probably quite early in the morning that they shot it. Like, you would see it and think it's live on the telly, but you might not even, this might not even be 8:28 when it's recorded. They might have shot it about 40 minutes earlier or at 6 in the morning and then have it ready to edit in to their show, maybe. You don't know these things. Or it might be absolutely live at 8:28 in the morning. But it's a bright early job. This poll is very close. Voice is coming out on top at 59% at the moment. So I will end the poll in another 3 minutes. If you really hate that no voice, and you really have we just have to accept what the poll says, but you've got a few more minutes to get your votes in if you really feel, strongly on that. And I apologise if you feel strongly about the voice. We will look into, in the future, trying to find different voices so that we can have the best voice rather than just the only voice.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier. Swish,
Maxine when I'm in trouble, but Max normally. Sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 20 hugs.
Thank you very much for the 20 notes. That's loads. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And your name is Maxine when I'm in trouble, but Max normally. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I couldn't be happier.
Hobbit from DA Shire, my dear, sent tippies. As always, interesting, entertaining. Super Chuffer owes 5 hugs.
Thank you very much for the £5. I really appreciate it. This is like fantastic. I like the talking. I listened to it, so I'm going to end the poll there, and its voice has won the poll. Apologise if everyone hates the voice. You got outvoted. It's a bit like fucking Brexit. Sorry, swearing. I haven't even got interesting or anything yet. So let's get into it and let's do the interesting work. But thank you very much, Hobbit from the Shire, and Maxine when you're in trouble, but Max normally. Thank you. Let's listen to Emma talk then, and let's pick up where we left off and start laying into her again. She's been on her work meetings.
To come forward. Emma, I know you've been a friend of Nicola's for a long time, since your children were small. They go to the same school, agonising for you and the family. What are you trying to do today to help find Nicola?
I'll pause it immediately. See, I told you, such a chuffer. You won't let them play. You won't let them talk. These two behind in the background, I've had it sent to me on email, corroborated. Now, listen, I don't use a lot of Facebook. I don't go on Facebook a lot. It's been suggested I do for a number of reasons recently, and I just can't be arsed with it. There's something like, I was there at the start. I watched Facebook grow. You know, I was there for the arguments and the back and forths and the Facebook groups and the being blocked and I was there for it all. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's such a mess on Facebook. I'm fed up of Facebook. But some people have been sending me some things they've found on Facebook relating to this. These two at the back, I'm given photographs so I can verify photographically. I'm not going to show the photographs because they're not my Facebook photographs, but I'm going to tell you what I've seen. I don't like hearsay, so maybe I should just show you the photographs. I'll just show you. Fuck it. I don't care. Do I? Like, do I care? No, I think I just show you the photographs, don't I? Yeah, I think if I'm saying something and I want to be honest, I just show you the truth. So I just give me a second because I wasn't planning to do this, but open up this PC, my storage, and pictures. Please open them. Okay, and then I'll open these, and then I'll go open like that. And then how do I show you? So I go on one of these here. I'm pretty good at the old computer. I can work this out. I'll do new media source. Is it a media source? No, it's not. Cancel. New window capture. And what is it? It's just pictures. Okay. Yeah, this is fine, but you've made that window really big.
I couldn't be happier.
Someone
Swish.
sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 10 hugs.
Thank you very much, someone. Thank you for the... I really appreciate it. Don't... Just someone. Why are my pictures coming up? Photos app, photos. What am I open here? No, not Explorer pics. Okay. This is making me angry. I thought I'd be able to do this. Maybe just one picture. Just open one picture that shows them in it. One picture. Nope. I apologise for fucking this up on the fly. There must be... that's Indrid's picture. So that's a picture. Oh, okay. I know how to do this. Yep. So, okay, let me change this to a picture of... so I go into my computer and I go where the pictures are and... Okay, I'll get you one. I'll get you sorted. Don't you worry. There you go. Boom. Picture. Who's this? Having fun. Who's this in the picture? So this is one I just was able to show you also... There's 4 pictures I got sent there. Look, you can see them on my computer desktop there. 4 pictures, 4 little icons.
It's raining again. I couldn't
Lady
be happier.
Penelope sent tippies. Huggy Bear XX. Super Chuffer owes 5 hugs.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This is all going in the kitty, and it is going in the kitty, and I'm really grateful. Thank you, Lady Penelope. I owe you 5 hugs. So you can see these thumbnails. Now I'm blowing them up like that. They're all the same people having fun in these pictures. And you know who these people are, don't you? Like, one of them's Paul Ansell there. One of them's Nicola Bulley. And the other one's this chuffer. And the reason that I was sent these pictures... So I don't know who that chuffer is. Yeah? But the reason I was sent them is because in this video... So, again, this isn't like... I'm not harassing and stalking people. I'm not going at them or anything. It's just the truth of the matter is that they're on the mainstream media news telly. There in these 2 pictures here, as they come walking in the background, like we discussed it on the last video. Like, there's one of them, and there's the other in the back with the beard. So that's the guy I just showed you with the beard. So it's people who know people, and like they're quite close friends with people. There's even a picture of Emma with those people. So it's thrown up something interesting and different there. Right? It's thrown up something quite interesting and different. there's going to be people who say it's a psyop. We're going to come back to that. We didn't finish the Masons conversation. I don't know how to. But there's somebody I follow on Twitter who's quite happy for me to look through their tweets and talk about all of their perspective on it. I asked them to come on the show. They're not sure they want to. But we're going to look through their tweets. That's not today's episode, but we're going to look at that. This feeds into that sort of thing where people find these weird coincidences and they're like, what the hell? For me, they will be asking questions. They will be knowing that Good Morning Britain are out today. Emma could not keep her mouth shut. She will tell these people, these close friends and, drinking buddies, that the TV people are out today. And these people are desperate. That you couldn't, could you? You couldn't, could you, right? If you were at home and you knew this going on, what you saying in chat there, Judith? He's got a son. Who's my son? I haven't got a son. Could it be Bulley? See, some people says they're extras now in chat, says Lee. I don't see they go back is all. They go back. Like they got their own separate history. They've got their own separate lives. They're on Facebook. I don't think they're extras. I think that the minute they hear that this is on the telly and the telly are there this morning and all that, should we just go out for a little walk? Oh, shall we? Should we just go out for a cheeky walk? And then when they see the camera and they see she's doing the interview, they're not going to stand behind her and go, hello, woo. They're just going to conveniently walk past. They wanted to be on the telly, didn't they? They're going to go home after and they're going to look at the interview and be like, look, there's us walking past. Do you know what I mean? He might be an actor. Listen. There's another thing about that psyops thing. Everyone knows somebody who's an actor, don't you think? I went to college with the whole class load of people who were training to be actors. So there's 3 generations of them. Everyone knows somebody who's been in something. Everyone wants to be in something. Everyone's on Instagram. Everyone's on Facebook. Everyone wants to be in something. Everyone knows someone who's something. All coincidences, and it's a small village. Everyone knows someone who's something. So I'm not having it that because they're interested in show business, therefore they're doing this psyop mission. I'm just not having that as a 2 and 2 go make 4. In fact, if you're doing psyop missions, you'd probably choose people who are not already in the public eye. Recorded in the public eye. But yeah, so that got thrown up. That's interesting. That's who they are. And that's who they are. So that's interesting.
Like you've just alluded to, 7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone today, believe me.
So that now, she recognises them walking away. Maybe they've even turned and smiled at her and given her a wave. So this does give me cause for reason for her to be smiling. I'm going to be fair to Emma here. If you're doing a TV interview and you didn't know your mates were coming across the bridge and then you saw them and you're like, fucking hell, cheeky mates, and they're there and they give her a wave, it could cause her to smile, but she certainly is smiling.
We're all finding it tough today, but yeah, 7 days, so we are out staying force. The community's come together once. And
there's all that blinking. There's a lot of heavy blinking. Someone else commented on this. A lot of heavy blinking. Cognitive. The reason for the heavy blinking is usually that you're having to think a lot in your brain. So, it's almost like robot misfiring. Lots of heavy blinking. There are some people that have blinking as a conditional nervous twitch that simply blink a lot. That would have to be their baseline. I don't think Emma's one of them. She has got a lot of heavy eye makeup on, but I read the heavy blinking as lots of processing going on in her brain.
Again, we've got banners printed, placards of Nikki. We've got big wavy men. So our thought process is we've explored every avenue. The community's come together, the police, everybody's come trying to find that missing
Everybody's come.
piece of the jigsaw. So
We talked about the piece of the jigsaw.
today commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been past this week, for some reason haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on.
I think we've been focusing on the jigsaw. I don't know if we got but this
thought
part out.
process is we've find that missing piece of the jigsaw. So today commuters might come past that perhaps.
Communities, we said, didn't we? What kind of communities are there? The rural communities, the hunting community, the farming community, this community. We discussed that.
Haven't been past this week. For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage.
That for some reason haven't seen all the media footage. That's interesting. I think this is where we pick up then, isn't it? You're all good in chat, aren't you? You're all happy in chat. How are you all doing? We are at 86 likes, and the amount of people here is growing. So if you all just want to quickly tell me where you're from in the world, that'll get the chat really motoring, and then people will be like, oh, what's going on in this one? Everyone's really talking a lot, and you'll get my chat rate up. And also, if we hit 100 likes, every 100 likes, I'll give £5 to charity. So we're at 87,
It's
so
raining again.
close
I
on the
couldn't
next.
be happier.
Mayor sent tippies. Love your style. Cheeky chuffer. Super
Thank you very
chuffer
much.
owes 5 hugs.
I hope everyone appreciates that it all goes into a big kitty and I use it for the media production. So I'm not directly taking that and giving it straight to charity. Like, thank you, I appreciate it. But every 100 likes, we're going to give £5 to the charity. So the likes are going up. That's great. Tell me where you're from in the world. Generally, you don't have to tell me like your exact location. Don't give me your Google Maps, exact location, but tell me where you're from in the world. Let's get this party started, and I'm going to get going hard on Emma. She loves it when I go hard on her. She loves it. Drag her out of a work meeting and start going hard on Emma. Okay.
Around Nikki, just one last hope that someone...
So she said, and she's got a big smile on when she says this, hasn't she? Look, she's definitely got a big smile on when she says this. So there's no doubting that. I often wonder whether just the glamour of it all, being in front of the big cameras, are moments in... I have Emma down as a full narcissist. We've been looking at narcissism a lot in our recent episodes of Thus, our podcast. Thus, we've been looking at narcissism a lot in that with Steve of the Dead, who is a forensic psychologist. And I have her down as a narcissist, so I believe that there's a big smile, and when she's thinking about the media and all the media footage, she's in most of it, isn't she? She's in most of it. So I think she has that as a big happy moment.
So today commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been past this week, for some reason haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
But she turns it... So all the media footage around Nikki... She actually uses Nikki's voice here. Uses Nikki's name for once.
Perhaps haven't been past this week, for some reason haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
Around Nikki. All the media footage around Nikki. Not of Nikki. I mean, we've been looking at photographs of Nikki, haven't we? They've been putting that forward. They've even put forward some CCTV. I don't know if at this moment... Because we're going back in time now, aren't we? I don't know if at this moment the CCTV is out there, but certainly the stills are out there and the description of the clothes and all that is out there. So this footage around Nikki makes me wonder whether we're looking at... whether she's looking on the telly and looking at the footage that they're shooting, and we're seeing the bench, the river, this place. We're seeing places around Nikki, but we're not seeing where Nikki is. I think that's what I'm getting from that. But, I could be wrong there. I could just be over-reading that. But footage around Nikki. She doesn't often use Nikki's name, you see. She doesn't often use her name. And when she does, she's looking into the camera and raising the eyebrows. There's a furrow of the brow. I'm not seeing a shrug of the shoulders, but it's almost a believe me look. Oh, there's the shrug of the shoulders, just as I asked for it. Great. Just rewind it there. You see those shoulders drop down here as I'm in rewind. So in forward motion, she said Nikki's name, and there's a sigh, a breathe in, a shrug of the shoulders, and almost a shake of the head. We think about guilty knowledge, and if she's mentioning Nicola and she's guilty about something, then that's going to play in her mind immediately as she says Nicola's name, isn't it? Like, if she's innocent and she's hoping to find her, then you're going to have these other feelings that go off, maybe anxiety. If I was innocent, I'm looking to find someone, maybe stress, anxiety. If I'm worried that they might actually really be dead, again, worried. But I'm not seeing that sort of stress and anxiety here. What I'm seeing instead was a sort of, maybe that same shock here for a moment. Slightly wide-eyed. Definitely her pupils are quite wide. She has got a light in her face. But turns away from that thought quite quickly, whatever that was. Maybe it's just people in the background. Maybe it's just people in the background. But shrug of the shoulders, raise the eyebrows, momentary pause for Nicola, for Nikki.
Around Nikki.
Yeah, so what it is she said...
Past this week, for some reason haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
You can even hear her take in this breath when she says it. She said Nikki, and she takes in a breath.
been past this week. For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
She takes in a breath. So that to me is fear.
Been past this week. For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
It's the slight raise of the shoulders, the bleeding expression, but also protection of the neck. I think this is fear. She's mentioned Nikki, and I don't think it was in her plan to directly say what she just said. And when you get off script and you mention Nikki's name, suddenly you get scared because you'll catch yourself in the middle of the interview, live on the telly, saying things you didn't plan to say and actually saying Nikki's name. So I think I worry about that.
We haven't been past this week. For some reason, haven't.
She's getting quite excited when she's talking about the media and people that haven't been passed, and she's looking up there at the light, and like, you know, she's getting quite letting things run away with her a little bit, and then she stops when she says Nikki, of course.
So today commuters might come past that perhaps we haven't been past this week. For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one last hope that someone.
And then the next couple of words, she starts to articulate them, but they don't come out.
Seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one.
She's like that. She goes, I just want.
For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around.
Unity Calling says they're getting an advert during the live. YouTube has got a button that asks me, do you want adverts during your live? And I tend to say no, like, please don't. But I'm understanding that YouTube is doing it, so I might have to research my button. I might have not pressed. Like, I'm considered once the button's pressed, it's pressed forever. But maybe it's not pressed forever. You obviously can't hear me saying this because you're getting an advert, but not everyone's getting the same advert. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're testing something. I apologise. I really do. I'll give it a minute for that advert just to play out for you because I don't want you to miss stuff. Her hair is all over the place. Yeah, good point. Later on, she decides to tie the hair up for these interviews on the same day, and I'm assuming this is early in the morning because, like, it almost looks dark. Like they've got the big light out. I'm assuming they didn't do this interview late at night for Good Morning Britain. I'm assuming it's very early in the morning. So I think she decided as a choice to wear the hair down, and then later she's looked over it and she's reconsidered it and she's tied it up for other interviews.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Someone sent tippies. Hi Scott, you a lovely red heart hash. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thanks. I'm lovely. Thank you. Thank you. You're all lovely in chat. Acoustic gymnastics with the big letters. Hello everyone in chat. Hello everyone in chat. Trump is on. Yeah, I'm not big on the Trump story myself, so just gonna keep banging on Emma.
Nikki, just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
Just one last hope that people. Okay, let me just get my head around this.
This week.
I'll let her speak, then I'll rewind her and try and get my head around it. Okay.
For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
Emma, I can't imagine how difficult this.
Oh, he gets her out of it. He gets her out of it, and the minute he does and he starts speaking and she can cut to the studio, she now looks either, I think she's looking at the producer. Usually in this setup you would have a camera person and behind them you would have a sound person holding the microphone. Sometimes in the morning setup you don't need all that extra sound rig, you just have it on the camera person or on the, maybe even the producer holds it because it's not such a, you know, big gig, but quite often you'd have a sound person and then you'd have the producer with a clipboard or a notepad or their phone these days, just stood behind, like looking probably quite young and hipsterish compared to all the other people. In the media industry there's a lot of certainly like in the mainstream there's a lot of been there a long time, camera operators, editors, you know, skilled people who have made their life's business. They're in the industry, they're in the union, so to speak, but then you also get this young influx of media graduates and people like that who come in and don't want to necessarily hold the camera but do want to be involved in the media. So you've got your producer. I might be wrong, you know, it might be an older producer, but on stuff like this when they're sending out a little unit to do a little thing here and there, they usually get the younger people in to give them their what's the word, experience. So she's looking at somebody or something off camera, and it might be that they've even got like a feed, or they can say to her, he's talking now. Like she might be able to hear it in her ear if she's got an earpiece, or maybe not. But they might have just said to her, time out, he's talking. Emma can probably hear the questions, so I imagine she's either got an earpiece or they've got something here that can play the thing. But she's very satisfied with that. She's not angry at being cut off like she usually is. Sometimes Emma gets angry at people interrupting her in interviews. Here she's not. She's doing that pursed lips. that she's got the dimples. That's holding back the smile. So she's much, much happier now that she got cut off. So let's go back to before she got cut off and what she was saying, that she's sort of like letting her mouth run a bit, coming off the script.
Today, commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been past this week. For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
Emma, I can't...
Jesus, Emma. Emma, look, there's a face for you. There's a face for you. Jesus.
It's the jigsaw. So today, commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been past this week. For some reason, haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
So I don't know who hasn't seen all the media footage, but yeah, we'll just gloss over that for a minute. Let's get to this. This is chewy.
Just one last hope.
Just one last hope. So, one last hope. What do you mean by last hope? Is that it then? You're going to do today's thing where you go out with the placards and the cars, and then obviously you're not going to find her, and then that's your last hope, and then what's going to happen? Then she's going to turn up. This is the last bit before she turns up, is it? One last hope? What do you mean last hope? It shouldn't be like this isn't my last... I don't know why the word last comes in there. Just one last hope.
Someone can shed just a little piece of information on.
That someone can shed just a little piece of information. So she uses the word shed. Now, usually you would use that as a... I don't like this at all. Usually you would shed new light because it's... use your brain, Scott. It is a cliche. People say it all the time. We're here to shed new light. We've shed new light. Shed new light on the shed new light. So... shed light is what you would say, but she hasn't said that. She's changed it to shed information, so it's different. Like, she uses a terminology that you could also... I don't know horses. Do horses shed? Tell me in chat if you know horses. Do horses shed? I know cats shed. They shed their hair. I also know about sheds, which are like wooden buildings that you keep things in out the back. But shedding body hair, shedding DNA, shedding like evidence, you know, you might shed like in that way. That's an issue to some people if they're involved in crimes. Or you might shed a tear for your friend. Good one, Cheeky Minx. Good point. Shedding a tear. Yeah. Evidence that she's actually upset. We're looking to see her shed tears. Snakes shed their skin. Interesting ABC. Red brick shed? Question mark says. Yeah. Well, I don't like that brick building out there. I don't think... like, if you were going to do a murder and you were going to use a disused public building right in the middle of the park, then like you're onto a loser, because they're going to catch you immediately because it's right there. Everyone's going to look in it. So I don't like the big brick building myself, but you know, people are saying it in chat. Her eyes are darting about all over the place looking for escape.
Nikki, just one last hope.
She keeps looking over here. She keeps looking over here. And my problem with it is that I could be doing NLP, and some people sort of say they don't go with the NLP anymore. NLP's now down in... I keep saying, you know, every time I bring it up, I keep saying this, but I still kind of think it might be interesting. And like, remembered auditory digital, remembered, like, if you're telling the truth, you're looking in that direction because you're remembering. If you're telling a lie, you're looking in this direction because you're making stuff up, except for kinesthetic, where you're looking into your feelings. Auditory digital, looking about, like, talking through your feelings. Kinesthetic things, how they feel, how they, like, anyway. The point is that it doesn't mean truth or lie, like, in that definite sense. And the problem we've got over here as well is that there might be something over here. It might be cars passing or people gathering, or like, oh, should I walk through? I don't know if I want to walk through the shot. I'll just wait till you're finished, or, you know, I can't see what's off camera. But I agree, she's looking about. Cue cards, I don't think they would have cue cards for this. I don't think Good Morning Britain stretched to cue cards for this sort of shit. If her friend was to be there holding them, that would be another issue, because what I would say is the people doing the news, could you just not do the cue cards? It looks false on telly. It looks weird. No thanks. We're just going to ask the questions. She's going to answer them. It's simple. If I was the producer, I would tell them to put, like, get off out of my shot with your cue cards. Like, but does this change for right and left-handed people? I think it does. I think it flips. Although I can't remember exactly, but I think it does. That's true. And of course, media flips as well. Sometimes they might... I don't think they have here, but sometimes you could flip an image, so you don't know if you're looking... You have to be certain on certain things. There's a lot of reasons why it's more about collections of body language rather than just one signal with the eyes these days, but
I haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki.
She's doing a lot of blinking.
Just one last hope that someone can...
One last hope. And she looks like... Okay, the problem I've got with it, if I want to give her a big red flag, which I do, is we know where she stood and we know where her position is. So what she's actually doing, it could be argued, is she's looking up the lane. I suppose I should evidence this. Googly Maps. I've been here such a long time now, such a lot, number of times, that I can just go straight up here, straight over here, know where it is now, know where we are at. We're here, we're stood right here, and it's this little path. So this is where we are, up here, and that's the path that apparently Nicola supposedly walked down. That's why the interview is being conducted here at this point, where apparently she supposedly walked down there. But just over here is another path. And this path here, this side, if you just cross over and go this way, this path here, no red brick building, none of that. This is the other way. And the other way... Oh, Birmingham again. Thanks. Blackpool. The other way leads you... Where am I? I said I could just find it real quick. I'm good at it. St. Michael's. So, that's the road that goes up there. This path leads you this way. Down the River Wyre. And if you follow that just this way, like you just keep going this way. Basically, you keep going until you get to, Emma's house, don't you? And the bend and where Nicola was found and all that. It's up here, isn't it? There's Marsh Farm Hall, that's it. Marsh Farm Hall there, as the crow flies, it's this direction. So Emma's sort of looking at her own house in the direction that Nicola's body was found. The problem with it, of course, is that she didn't know that's where Nicola's body was going to be found, did she? Until weeks later when Nicola turned up. But you could argue that here, while she's talking about this one thing that she's hoping will turn up, or, like, you know, her eyes going in that direction all the time, up that path, up that bit of river to where Nicola was eventually found. It is a bit sus, isn't it? It's a bit sus.
Around Nikki, just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on.
So, and the way she describes it as well, one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information. I still contest that they are trying to put together a decoy and that there's some piece of information that they have not seen come up that they think is still out there. One little piece, not a big thing. She's not looking... It's weird, isn't it, as well? Because I would ask, not for one little piece of information, but for, you know, I'd hope for Nicola to come back. I'd be looking for Nicola. I hope that we could find Nicola. So that's a big thing. Not just hope that someone shed one little it's a weird collection of words. Someone's shed, someone's dropped, someone's, you know, absent-mindedly discarded a little piece of information. Not a big thing, a little piece of information. And that's the sort of thing that you might call the police about, or tell the police, or, you know, little pieces of information as well, like data. Not a big piece of evidence or a signal or a sign, you know. Lots of... We're going back to that jigsaw idea as well, which is in the same interview. It's strange language for someone who's trying to find their friend, isn't it?
Around Nikki, just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
On where Nikki is.
Emma, I can't imagine...
And that got a big gulp of surprise. And these looks that come over her now are like, you know, damning, if anything.
One last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
On where Nikki is. So she's saying this at a point where she's missing. We're still looking for her. But where Nikki is objectifying Nicola. Nicola is not... Maybe I'm wrong. You know, on where she is. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. You'd have to tell me in chat. On where Nicola is, like, it almost feels like she knows that she's, you know, I'm asking whether she thinks she's dead already and, you know, where she is to be found, or if she thinks she is somewhere hiding, or, you know, safe somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It just seemed the way she said it, but when she says it, she gets emotions come through at the end. So she said it, she does a big gulp down first, a big swallow, and then she looks over there again, and then back to the camera as she starts to draw breath,
Can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
Emma, I can't.
And he starts to say, Emma, I can't imagine. But here, it's like she's doing that smile thing again, isn't it?
Emma, I can't imagine.
It's like a shock and a surprise and a smile. Like you've just said, maybe a happy birthday. Maybe you've just given her a happy birthday card or something. Oh, that's nice, in a way. I'm finding it a really difficult read on that last bit.
Someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
On where Nikki is. Swallow, blink. We're looking back briefly over there. So I agree with what was said in chat about this looking over in that direction. That is either remembering something. That's not looking down the road here. It's a different direction. It's up and into the sky. So that's remembering something. I'm saying I'll go with remembered visual. Yeah, I'll go with the NLP on this. Remembered visual. Where is Nikki? I remember seeing her at this... she's got a visual. She's got a visual. Just for a second, she's not going to light on that and stay in that... Like, she dispels it with this big eye blink. And then she looks back at us down the camera with a smile. Like, almost trying to keep her face straight.
Imagine how difficult this
And then there's another moment of shrug, little smile. He takes over. She starts to feel relief as she now no longer... For a minute there, she was talking about where Nikki is. For a minute there.
A little piece of information on where Nikki is.
Emma, I can't imagine how difficult this week has been.
Look at that smile. She just got away with it. Relief, satisfaction. A second ago, she was talking herself into a little hole. We didn't get much out of it. No, I didn't get much out of it. She said where Nikki is. You know, maybe other people might want to review that. Maybe I might want to review it on a different day. But afterward, when he took over, big smile. Big, broad, clear. Like, no open teeth, but... Open mouth and teeth, but big, clear, broad, you know... Big smile.
And for all of you, probably very...
And then now she's looking down. So usually a look down is in shame. So this could be shame. But I believe it's simply that she realises she's smiling into the camera and she's trying to compose herself and think about something sad or like make her face into what it should be.
surreal to think that your great friend just dropped the kids off at school, did what she does very regularly.
There's a sort of nod here along as well while he's describing the events and a purse of the lips, pull back. Again, I think she's holding back the smile, but I also wonder whether she's nodding along. Jupiter's Delight in chat, yeah, you know, Jupiter's Delight, yeah, I would say so. And when she's nodding along to this train of events, though, I think she's almost like they're repeating back to her the continued decoy lie. And so it's even funnier in a way, isn't it? Like, because they're continuing to, like, she's having to struggle with all of this.
Surreal to think that your great friend just dropped the kids off.
Your great friend got a look of...
Just dropped the kids off at school, did...
What is that? What is that?
Just...
Like, your great friend causes her to look up. Like, or is it, because I see the wind blowing her hair, is it that she's trying to look into the wind? Because if you look into the wind, then you might cry. Could it be that?
Your great friend...
But your great friend seemed to alert her attention.
Just dropped the kids off at school, did what she does very regularly, walking the dog.
The hands have come out. When you're rubbing your hands like this, it's a sign of greed finance. You know, these aren't, I'm cold rubbing my hands, or I'm stressed rubbing my hands here. These front to back motions like this, greed finance.
Great friend just dropped the kids off at school, did what she does very regularly, walking the dog, and then has disappeared.
Like, because she had her hands in her pocket, so she's not bringing them out to warm them up. Like, this is greed finance. There's a slight interlacing of the fingers, which would indicate to me that she doesn't want to talk about this. She wants to keep her feelings in, and she wants to be guarded and, like, you know, putting up a defensive, like, posture just with her hands, like, not with the whole, you know, like this, but it's almost like that, isn't it? Spiky defensive. And then she changes it, and one thought overrides the other. So with her hands here, speaking with her hands, what she does is she's got other, like, she's listening to what's being said. She's thoughtful. I'm always looking at her hands. I'm also looking at her face now. She's thoughtful. She's nodding. She's processing and taking it in. And it's a bit like you would... like, Emma's very much like this. She can't see this guy. She's listening to him, I'm assuming. So she wants to focus on the question and make sure that she's, like... a lot of the time when someone's lying to you, they will try and read you so that they can see if their lie is settling well. Thank you, Gaming Grogu, for tagging me on Twitter. We'll have a look at the Twitter in a bit, maybe if we've got time, or we'll do another episode on Twitter as well. I'm going to do another episode on the psyops of Twitter and the ideas of Twitter, so I will be out there having a look at that, yeah. She's thinking, she's analysing, you know, she's concentrating and focusing, which is okay because you're listening to your questions on your interview, but it's almost like she's very... I want to say there's an aggression underlying it. You know, there's like a determination. There's a strength and a will to, you know, really be on this. It's like you're at your job and you've got like a serious shit going on. I mean, you probably have. You're looking for your friend, aren't you? That's what it is. But as he asked this question, she jostles ideas around defensively. And she decides on what she's going to say, and that overrides, and she sort of like shuts down. You see how it like folds over and closes down the other hand?
It.
There's a moment there where it's like one thought is maybe overriding the other. It's coming out on top. But no, we're going to shut that down and like I'm going to clasp on. So it becomes stress and it becomes, but I think it becomes control and... No, it's a strange little hand dance that to finish it with this like clasp on. Like I think, like I said, the idea has now been decided upon in her mind where how she's gonna answer. Like it's like a thought process in her hands there.
Did what she does very regularly, walking the dog, and then has disappeared.
Disappeared. Got the latched on. It's almost a bit again financial in the bag. A bit like that. Then she's disappeared. That's what we're latching onto. Okay, let's see what she says.
Absolutely. So surreal.
A lot of nodding and almost unable to get her word. Like, absolutely. And like she brings the volume up as she goes into it. So at first she's not confident with what she's about to say. And she brings the confidence in as she's saying it. So she's not happy and confident about what she's saying.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like it's almost high pitched, almost like her voice is about to break, but it's not because she's crying, is it? So.
And then has disappeared.
Absolutely. So surreal. You've got this feeling.
So surreal. So what she was doing there was she was buying time. She was repeating back the question. She's obviously thought about it a lot. She's buying time so that she can organise her words and say the things she wants to say. Either trying to remember the script or organising in her mind the words she's going to say.
Absolutely. So surreal.
Not a good look for someone who's innocent. Obviously you're on telly and you're doing your interview, trying to find your friend. You might be a bit nervous. You might need to think about these things. But not a good look because instead of just saying what comes naturally quickly, you might have a lot to say. You might be trying to get it out on it. Like, I'm only here for 3 minutes. Nicola's out there. If anyone sees her, you know, Nicola, if you're watching this, you might have a lot to say. But she's carefully thinking about how she words her answer here. And it's not the first thing that comes to her mind, obviously, because she's having to carefully think how she words it.
Absolutely. So surreal.
So surreal's nothing. It's just repeating back what he said.
You've got this feeling of great sadness.
You've got this feeling of great sadness. Which is weird because I haven't got any of those feelings. You should have.
You've got heartache.
You've got heartache. And again, the NLP, we're looking up into this remembered visual. You know, we're looking up into not a made-up idea. This is remembered visual. If you're looking at or remembered auditory, maybe it might veer off into that. It's either remembering the script, like maybe she's written this down and she pictures the script, you know, pictures the bullet points. But it's strange that she's talking about her emotions, and it might be, again, I will put up my hands here and say, is she left-handed? It might be, like, let me just quickly check that. Does NLP flip for left-handers? Some left-handed people may show reverse patterns. May show. May. There's a case for it, but it's not, you know, guaranteed. So, and I don't know if she's left-handed or not, but I would expect to see, if you're looking into your emotions and you're thinking about your emotions, then you'd be down at this bottom right here, auditory digital, or like maybe in the bottom left there. But I don't think remembered visuals so like the right place to be. It's almost like she's listing stuff.
Real. You've got this feeling of great sadness.
And she does this with her hands. We can't quite see it because of the thing, but it's politicians do this where they don't want to point at you because that's rude and it gets you eggy and you don't like it. Don't like being pointed at, do you? But they bring the knuckle in and they put their thumb on, and it's like a gesture. Tony Blair and, you know, they talk like this with their hands. They know the correct gestures because it creates dominance, but it's not rude and it doesn't come across. But, you know, there's all that. I don't think she's doing that. I think she's just shutting and clasping her hands tightly, almost in like a prayer, almost in like stress now and anguish. At this point, it's got a bit strange the way she's holding her hands and doing this. Like, people don't usually do this when they're talking to you, so I'm not happy with that either.
So surreal. You've got this feeling of great sadness. You've got heartache mixed in. And
then she's starting to bring her hands out now. So sadness, heartache. Heartache's just a word she said. There was no demonstration on her that her heart is aching. But it doesn't matter because it's not her, it's you that is having these feelings, remember?
In there with a whole load of hope, and you just can't explain the feeling that's going on.
Mixed in with a whole load of, and she pauses over it again, and a whole load of hope, and you can't understand what's going on. So I worry about this, the grasping clause and the aspect of mixing. Something's all mixed in. Did they have to submerge Nicola's body before they, you know, got it in the river and something? Did they mix something in? Because I don't think she's talking about her feelings. This is the problem, you know. She's describing what should be her feelings, but she's saying they're your feelings, and then she's like listing stuff.
You've got this feeling of great sadness. You've got heartache mixed in there with a whole load of hope, and you just can't explain the feeling that's going on. And then,
but the thing that she tells us is that you can't explain the feeling that's going on. What's going on? What do you mean going on? What's been going on? The feeling. This feeling I've been having. Not going on, then. You can't explain what's been going on. If I say to you, I can't explain what's been going on, that sounds like I've been doing something bad and it's guilty, isn't it? But if I say to you, I can't explain the feelings that's been going on, then it sounds like I've got the last bit of the sentence from what would normally come out. I can't explain what's been going on. That feels natural. And instead I've put the first bit on with all the feelings in the list. And at some point during the feelings in the list, I've lapsed into my natural form of conversation, which is to say more truthful things. So can't explain what's been going on is what I get from that. I'm rewording, paraphrasing. I'm not going exactly, you know, parrot fashion there. But she sort of said to me, I can't explain what's been going on.
A whole load of hope, and you just can't explain the feeling that's going on. And then,
not that's been going on, that is going on. Sorry, that is going on. She can't explain what is going on. And that might be fine, because she might not be able to explain where Nicola is and she doesn't know what's going on. But she can explain what is going on because she's organising it all. The helicopters are not her jurisdiction, obviously, but she's doing the, you know, the GoFundMe and the town plan and the tennis club meets, and, you know, she's quite organised heavy, isn't she? And she's quite in on all the different pies here, isn't she? She's like talking to Paul and she's talking to this person and that person. She's on the telly. So what is going on at the moment for her? She should be able to... if you ask me what's going on with you at the moment, I can tell you what's going on with me at the moment. If I ask you what's going on with you at the moment, you can tell me what's going on with you at the moment. She can't tell us what's going on at the moment. It's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
we have the two most beautiful little girls out there asking.
We have the two most beautiful little girls out there. Out there. Where's out there? Again, it's listing thing, isn't it? It's this emotive language to try and get you to donate money to the GoFundMe. It's like you're marketing appeal. We've got the two most beautiful little girls. You're bringing the little girls into it then. Shoehorning them in from out of nowhere. I don't know why they would help explain what's going on here. But, you know, I guess you have to talk about them. They are part of the story, but... we're like... Today, we already jumped in by 2 minutes of her talking. At no point has she been saying, where is Nikki? I wish you'd just come home. If you're watching this, Nikki, your daughters need you. None of that. None of that, but yeah.
Where's their mummy asking all these questions, and we can't give them answers.
We can't give them answers.
Feeling that's going on, and then we have the two most beautiful little girls out there asking.
She nods her head throughout that as well, like confirming it, so that's okay. She does think those girls are beautiful.
Going on, and then we have the two most beautiful little girls out there asking, where's their mummy, asking all these questions, and
asking where's their mummy, asking all these questions. It's two different things, isn't it?
The most beautiful little girls out there asking, where's their mummy, asking all these questions, and we can't give them answers.
And we can't give them answers, as, again, NLP, we're staring into remembered visual. Could be constructed visual lying if she's left-handed. She could be staring into a constructed story if she's left-handed. It's hard to lean too heavy on this, like I said, but remembered visual, I'm going to say. So she's remembering, like, seeing these girls. I think she's a very visual sort of person, Emma. I think what you see is important to her. It might not be what you get, but it's important to her what you see. And I think to her, she sees the world in a very visual way. Yeah.
And as a family, oh gosh, they're being so strong for these little girls, and the no mummy's missing. Today, apparently, the hair wasn't quite right from one of the little girls, because that's not the way mummy does it. And I think we've touched the nation here, haven't we? She's a daughter, a mother, a partner, a sister, a great friend, and we just all want Nikki back. So if anybody has anything that they can give the police, anything, just share it, please.
There's nothing from your friendship.
So this last bit about the girls, I don't want to spend too long on the girls, but I do want to, like, see if I can cover this and get some, you know, juice out of it. Let's see what she says.
Family, oh gosh, they're being so strong for these. We can't give them answers. And as a...
So the can't give them answers was caused to pause, wasn't it?
And as a family, oh gosh, they're being so strong for these little...
And as a family, there's a dead-eyed look, isn't there, in the middle of her performance?
Most beautiful little girls out there asking, where's their mummy, asking all these questions, and we can't give them answers.
We can't give them answers implicit. Like, obviously, you might not know because you're innocent, but also we can't give them answers because we don't want to tell them what's happened because of the guilt. So that might give you worry and concern to suddenly stop and check what you're saying and give that cognitive check, that blink of the eyes, that momentary concentration, you know, stare directly into the camera. A little bit of momentary check there as you then go into your next bit, and the hands come up in this sort of bargaining almost way.
As a family, oh God.
As a family, oh, and the big roll of the eyes up there, oh, that's performance, that is to me. That's performance. I don't really read that as like she thinks this or thinks that. She wants you to think that big performance, big roll of the eyes.
Oh gosh, they're being so strong for these.
They're being so strong, but really, you know, flat face, like no emotion, doesn't really give a fuck about the family.
Little girls, and they know mummy's missing.
They know mummy's missing. She's talking about the girls again, so she's got quickly off the family. So Nicola is not really prepared to spend much time mentally on Emma is not prepared to spend a lot of time. They do get us confused, don't they? They do get us confused. We just like each other. Do you want to stay away from me? I don't like the tone of your voice. Well, I was on a work meeting and you disturbed me. I didn't disturb you. You're disturbed. You don't tell me what to do. Get down here. Get down here now and pull your pants down. I don't want to pull my pants down. I'm shagging you like Paul. I don't know. Don't know if you are. Turn up the music. We're all on a work meeting now. Okay, look. She when it came to the family, when it came to Nicola's wider family, we're talking about her sister, her mother, her father. The little girls have been brought up, and then we talk about the family. So we're talking about them. We could be talking about Paul, but obviously Paul's his own entity, isn't he? She talks about Paul separately. So really, she's referring to the father, the sister, and the mother, and she ain't got any time for them. No time. No expression on her face. Like the dead-eyed, head back slightly. Slightly tilt head back.
These little girls, and they know mummy's missing.
Head forward.
Today, apparently, the hair wasn't quite right from...
Oh, that's the hair being... Okay, that's the head forward for
little
that.
girls out there asking, where's their mummy, asking all these questions, and we can't give them answers. And as a family, oh gosh, they're being so strong for these little girls, and they know mummy's missing.
She hasn't got any time for that family. I don't think she wants to spend any mental time on there. I think she feels maybe threatened by them. They know mummy's missing. It makes me feel like what she means there... It makes... Okay, I shouldn't say this necessarily because, like, you know, it's my feeling, but the family know mummy's missing, like, or accusatory in a way. Like, they think I've got something to do with mummy being missing. Maybe. The family know mummy's missing. Like, the little girls know mummy's missing. The family only got a moment, didn't they?
They know mummy's missing. Today, apparently, the hair wasn't quite right from...
And then she looked up and she said, today apparently the hair wasn't quite right. Who's doing that hair? Who's doing the hair? Who's she getting this from? The hair wasn't quite right. Is it from the family? Is she talking to this or is she doing the hair? I get the impression that someone else is doing it because she's relaying information here.
Girls, because that's not the way mummy does it.
Because that's not the way mummy does it. And I get the impression that, again, this is more my... Like, there's this nod, there's almost a condescension. The hair wasn't quite right. Almost like a tilt of the head. I'm getting the feeling that she thinks these little girls are maybe like spoiled princesses and that her children don't get the set. Like, if in her household, if your hair's not quite right because it's not the way mummy does it, shut the fuck up and get on with it. Like, whereas Nicola's children have to have their hair perfectly like this and perfectly like that, and like she feels that maybe it's a slight step too far. Rather than feeling like this sympathy for the girls that their hair's not right because it's not the way mummy does it, and that's a moment where you would like, it's like she's been told this story and the person that's telling her the story like sees it as a really important, like, the girls feel that their mom isn't there and this is like a big reminder, and it's something as simple as their hair, but to them it's like mommy's not, and it brings it all up again and we're all sad. Whereas for Emma it's like, fucking idiots. In a way, like, there's lines here on her face and she sort of like almost condescendingly like relays this story.
The way mummy does it, and I think we've touched the nation here, haven't we? And
we've touched the nation. She doesn't say anything emotional about that aspect of mummy not being there and not doing the hair. The way she then relays that information and contextualizes it.
Harlequin sent tippies. First time catching a chuffing live, will be watching from beginning. Love your stuff, lore with you sticking your tongue up Emma's nose, classic from Harlequin.
Thanks.
Super Chuffer owes 5 hugs.
5 hugs to you. Thank you very much. I should never have done that. Somebody took a picture of me sticking my tongue up Emma's nose and they put it on Twitter. I should never have done it. That's the only thing. I'll never live it down. I'm saying that she's contextualized the introduction of the children's hair into this story as a marketing tool, because we've touched the nation with this, haven't we? And it brings up that Madly I'm McCann factor, that money factor, touch the nation. We're on the mainstream news. We're big, like, headlines, newspapers. I'm suddenly in the news. We've touched the nation. Touch the nation is good because it's like hearts, you know, touch their nation's hearts. A touch is something you might get if you've just come into some money in the UK. It's a little colloquial. Oh, I've had a nice touch this week. Oh, have you? Yeah, I found £500 down the back of the sofa. Or I did a GoFundMe after I murdered my... Anyway, look, a touch could be that. We've touched the nation. It's a very funny turn of phrase, to touch the nation. People in Scotland and Ireland, like the great nation of Great Britain, or, you know, maybe she's just talking about... Anyway, the people around the country, it doesn't matter a fuck. Yeah, I'm not being funny, but if you live in like we're looking for Nikki and we don't think she's gone far, so maybe it does matter about London, but quite possibly not. Do you know what I mean? The Isle of Wight, we don't need to reach them. Like, that she's not likely to be on there. We're looking for Nikki. So to touch the nation stars in their eyes. You know, tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be, and like to touch the nation. I'm on Good Morning Britain. I'm on Good Morning Britain, touching the nation. Like, it's a different thing to looking for Nikki. And the fact that there's that financial aspect of it is disgusting, isn't it? Because now what we've done is we've shoehorned in the children. We've told a story about, oh, the hair isn't right, they miss their mummy, and we've touched the nation with it. Instead of, we've tried to find Nikki. So it's like ABC, you know, it's point line, putting the line through. And the line, the context she's now given us is these stories about the children and their suffering are leverage for me to touch the nation. And my aim for touching the nation, of course, is money on the GoFundMe side of things. It's not really to find Nikki, because I don't know if children being upset about their hair, making someone equally upset in Newcastle, makes a big difference as to whether we find Nikki. Do you see what I'm saying? So I find it very strange that this is her choice of pieces in this interview about when she refers to the children. I think personally, I would have either not brought the children up in this context, in this way, or I would have done it a little bit more. I remember you bet. Oh, it's got Barrymore. Did it have Barrymore on it? I bet I can get out of this swimming pool. No, you fucking can't. Anyway, look. Look. The the problem here is that you've got to be careful about talking about the children in this context. You know, I want to be careful about talking about the children. She's brought it up, and ABC 1, 2, 3. It's touched the nation.
My mum is missing. Today, apparently, the hair wasn't quite right from one of the little girls, because that's not the way Mummy does it. And I think we've touched the nation here, haven't we? Haven't we?
We've touched the nation here, haven't we? Thank you very much, Judy London Mental Health and Crime. We were going to try and get onto a video that you've got on your channel if we get time today. Well, it might be on the, you know, depending on time, but because we were late on today because of the internet. Thank you very much for the super chat. I want to know why Paul trusted excellent work. I'm not Oliver, I'm Scotty Chuffer. I want to know why Paul trusted Nicola to drive the girls to school if she had alcohol issues. Yeah, agree. The attitude he gave in the interview as well, I'll put on my gym kit, but I'm checking on her and all this. It made me feel that later on, when the revelation came out that he said she had mental issues, that he said that prime suspect Paul said that victim Nicola Bulley had internet issues. I've had internet issues, had intellect issues. Very convenient, and also it doesn't. You're right. Like, if that's the problem, then why don't you take the kids and I'll see you later, and I'll worry about you and your issues. Like, wouldn't you just be driving the kids to school yourself, or like going with her on the dog walk and shit like that? I don't know. But yeah, I didn't like it either. Yeah, extensively covered in the playlists and Nicola Bulley full playlist. I'm gonna have to start getting some edits out of this, because like extensive now, that playlist, and I think we did talk about that during his red flagging. The red flagging of Paul Ansell. But yeah, agreed.
A daughter, a mother, a partner.
What are you doing now?
Girls, because that's not the way Mummy does it. And I think we've touched the nation here, haven't we? We've
touched the nation. Got this gesture from her hands as well, which is a sign of not very confident. It's a sign of like asking you to believe me, but also it's like almost like begging and gesture of expecting something to come to you, like holding out your hands to receive.
She's a daughter, a mother, a partner.
She's a daughter, a mother, a partner.
Sister, a great friend.
A sister, a great friend. All this with smile, looking off into the distance, just reading your list, doing your script. Obviously you've prepared for this because it's Good Morning Britain, and now you're right on your script. This is the emotional plea bit. They even talked to you, probably the producer has said, we've seen you in other interviews, you don't do a very good emotional plea. Do you want to turn that emotional plea up for me? Because we're going to need that for the mainstream bit. This is us on the news. If you could cry, we get more points.
Right. And we just all want Nikki back, so if anybody has anything,
why'd they cut away?
We can give the police anything. Just share it, please.
There's nothing from your friendship that would have made you... I'm sure you spent hours and 24 hours a day since she...
This is a weird one because Kate Garraway comes in here and almost says, and she's doing this thing again where she's like staring. Is she listening to it on something, or is she staring down at a monitor? But she goes like, still, this is okay in a way. She doesn't start looking angry, but she might be poker faced. But she does this thing again where she's like totally focused, but she almost looks like, how do I put it? Like you've just put this emotional plea in. Yeah, you've just been doing this emotional thing, talking about a mother, a daughter, like these things, you know, like you've been doing that, and then aren't you like feeling emotional? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, hang on, Kate, like just give me a second. I can't really concentrate on what you're saying because it's just brought all these feelings up. But no, like instead, like it's almost like
Just share it, please.
There's nothing from your friendship that would have made you, that I'm sure you spent hours and 24 hours a day since she disappeared wondering what might have happened. There's nothing from your friendship that she might have said or...
Again. I couldn't be happier.
swish,
Paul and Kim
then
sent
whoosh.
tippies. Keep on chuffing, mate. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
I'll send 3 hugs your way. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Thank you very much, Paul and Kim. I'm tell you what, because we got on late today because of the internet issues, I'm already starting to feel my mental aptitude for this starting to flag slightly, but I'm still good. I think we've got another hour in it. We probably have to review this one again. I'd probably watch this one again, like, you know, offline and pick up something else and go, oh God, I can't believe I missed that. So I think there's still a lot in this, but yeah, I'm going to definitely keep on chuffing on this. She brings a smile back into it again.
I'm sure you spent hours and 24 hours a day since she disappeared wondering what might have happened. There's nothing from your friendship that she might have said or done that will give you any indication of the disappearance.
No.
So there's a lot in what she's not saying while she's not saying anything while Kate's talking. Look.
Spent hours and 24 hours a day since she disappeared.
Hours and 24 hours a day since she disappeared. And she gives like a knowing look and a little nod to camera. What's she been doing for hours since she disappeared?
Wondering what
Gives her a little cause to smile and look away again. Don't go there.
might have happened. There's nothing from your friendship that she might have said.
Your friend, nothing for your friendship. Big purse of the lips, raise the eyebrows and a nod. There's something from your friendship. There's something like specific. Look, there's nothing from your friendship that, yeah, Okay. Now, that was a big change all of a sudden.
She disappeared, wondering what might have happened. There's nothing from your friendship that she might have said or done that will give you any indication.
And that was something that was said, yes, definitely. And then we've moved on and, you know, let that, it's almost like let that drift away down the river of conversation from Kate, because she's like, Kate, if she could see her one-on-one, would have said, there's nothing that you've said, and she'd have nodded, and then she'd have gone, right, oh, what is it she said then? You know what I mean? It was like there was a point there, but we've let it drift.
Of the disappearance.
And it causes Emma to breathe heavily here.
No, you...
No, no, there's nothing. Big smile, duper's delight, lie. I need an alarm sound. Like, what the fuck? There's nothing in your friendship that gives you any cause for concern. No, don't worry. There's nothing in my... Don't. No. Can you put a link there, Claire? No, we don't have links because of, obviously, you know, YouTube and people putting all sorts of stuff in the chat. But you can send me stuff on Twitter, and you can send me stuff on... truebinaural@outlook.com, but I really don't want to be like badgered by emails all the time, and I only check them intermittently. So, but yes, in theory, but like what I want is Emma interviews, links to Emma interviews. Yeah, Emma interviews. I want to get as many of those down as we got so that they don't disappear. But this is a huge problem, isn't it? Huge problem. Is there anything in your relationship as a friend? Big nod and a smile, held back, pursed lips, to indicate yes there is, and then when asked replies no and laughs.
Any indication of the disappearance?
No, you... As she said, I mean, you look at all the things. She's on a conference call for work. She's got...
Work meeting. You look at all the things. She's on a work meeting. That's not what you've asked, you fucker.
That would have made you... I'm sure you spent hours and 24 hours a day since she disappeared wondering what might have happened. There's nothing from your friendship that she might have said or done that will give you any indication of the disappearance.
No, you.
No. There's nothing that she said to you as a friend. That's what you're being asked.
As she said, I mean, you look at all the things. She's on a conference call for work. She's got play dates for the little girls already.
So I take a good point in chat here. Kate Garraway leans in when she says it. If you were a friend and you didn't know she was, we're going to call it the big S, because like if we get too deep in those waters, YouTube's going to bin me off entirely. And we can deal with those things as serious issues. We've got a Mental Health Monday channel, but yeah, the big S. If she knew that she was thinking of the big S, then how would this friend not have spotted it? I guess is a subplot in the question, isn't it? Subplot in the question. And again, if that is subplot in the question, which I agree, good spot there, good point, then Emma would feel offended and angry at that rather than laughing it off. Again, like, so double trouble here. Double trouble. Sound the alarms twice.
The disappearance?
No, you. As she said, I mean, you look at all the.
As she said, you look at all. What? Sorry, what?
No, you. As she said, I mean.
As you said, Huda, yeah, I did notice you've got one that I wanted to look at today. We probably don't have enough time to get to it today, but I will then. I won't take them. I'll just watch them on your channel. We'll react to them on your channel. I'll give you the shout outs, you know. I'll do that. Thanks very much for the permission to do such.
You look at all the things. She's on a conference call for work. She's got play dates for the little girls arranged. We're going.
The dead face comes in again, like the deadpan face, like this. Like suddenly it's a little bit more serious, and we're like almost bored as we're listening to you. It's because we look at you down the camera as an idiot, as a dullard who will listen to what I'm saying here. Like, you know, like, I'm fed up of it. You're fed up of hearing it. Can you not just learn your fucking stupid thing? You know, like she's used to talking down to people like these eyes.
Of the disappearance?
No, you. As she said, I mean,
as you said, you mean like that's awful, isn't it? In a way, like, is there anything that your friend said to you about this? As you said, I mean, we've got the phone and the evidence. Like, you what? Can we go back to what we wanted to talk about? No, yeah, okay.
You look at all the things. She's on a conference call.
You look at all the things, as in what things? What things? What all the things? We're asking you about other things. Like, we know about the conference call, we know about the dog, you know, that's all, that's why we're here, we've got the telecameras, and we're asking you about, is there anything else you can think of in the, you know, think back a couple of weeks maybe, did she say anything? And you're giving us the media list of evidence and timeline of the day. Do you know what I mean? It seems a bit weird, doesn't it? It seems a bit contrived, doesn't it, almost? It's almost like you've made your emotional plea, and now you're giving your narrative, you're selling your narrative on the mainstream media, when asked if there's anything emotionally or like, you know, you've got an emotional connection with your friend. If you noticed anything on that level, you know, you're giving us a list of timeline events.
No, you. As she said, I mean, you look at all the things. She's on a conference call for work. She's got play dates for the little girls arranged. We're going out on the weekend.
We're going out on the weekend. That's the one that we haven't had, isn't it? I didn't know that was in that list. We're going out at the weekend, her and Emma. Didn't know her and Emma are going out at the weekend. They might still be going out that weekend. We don't know. Jesus Christ. What are you doing at the weekend, Emma? Where are you going at the weekend? You're going out at the weekend, are you? You're going out at the weekend. At the weekend. Oh, a big smile. Oh, this is awful. Come on. Don't tell me it's not. Don't tell me it's not. This is before she was found. You're going out at the weekend in the future. You know, you're still planning to go out, like, she's got the conference call, we're going out at the weekend, and that's caused you for a big smile.
It's just,
yeah.
The girls arranged, we're going out at the weekend. It's just bizarre.
It's just bizarre.
And that's nothing makes any sense, does it, at this moment in time?
And nothing makes any. You can't even get the words out, can you? Can't even get the words out. Hello there, Margaret. How are you doing? I'm going to have this one on giant big because something about this particular one that I like. So I'm just going to get this out and just make it. This is for me and my fun now. Just for me and my fun. I'm not bullying the woman. I think she might have done a murder. Yeah, let's have that.
It's called for work. She's got play dates with little girls arranged. We're going at the weekend.
They'll have that. They'll clip that. Look at a big smile.
It's just bizarre, and that's the nothing makes any sense, does it, at this moment in time? She was walking the dog, and
Nothing makes sense at this moment in time, meaning that it's going to make sense in the future. Guilty knowledge.
at the weekend. It's just bizarre, and that's the nothing makes any sense, does it, at this moment in time?
At this moment in time, nothing makes sense to you, to us, but it might do in the future, huh?
She was walking the dog, and
She was walking the dog. There's another one for you. She was walking the dog. Proof, evidence. Got that. Said it on the news. Little smile.
oh, Nikki's a great animal lover.
Nikki's a great animal lover. What? What the fuck? What? I just remind you, we are asking you if there's anything that happened in the weeks leading up to Nicola's disappearance that you, as her close friend, might have noticed. And now you're telling me that she's a great animal lover. So, if you like, you know, or Kurt, do you realise you're looking pretty bad on the telly here? It's the mainstream telly. It's going to be recorded. They're going to have you on the internet later. Are you sure you want to go on about... Because you've got you saying it, but if you want, we could just cut this. You know, we can go back to studio. Are you sure? Or do you want to carry on?
This moment in time, she was walking the dog, and oh, Nikki's a great animal lover. She loves her animals.
Little stick. Oh dear, what's this? What's that? Said about it before. Said about it on the other episode we did the other day. Little stick out of the tongue. It's petulance. It's childishness. It's like rude to you. I'm better than. It's like aggressive. Little stick out of the tongue. Condescending. Lots of reasons. Let me just get up on Google. Childish stick out the tongue. Body language. It might have sexual connotations, apparently. That's not what I think. Rudeness, disgust, playfulness, or outright sexual. Weird. Outright sexual is coming up. But I see it as rude and playful disgust, like, like you idiot. But it could also be sexual. I suppose in certain contexts, like, you know, if you're at the bar and someone's going like, hello, baby. Like when I was trying to lick her face, everyone's going to see that as sexual, aren't they? But I see it as rude, playful. But yeah, look. Here we've got her again. She's got that little short fringe bit. She's got the hair extensions in underneath. They're hair extensions, aren't they? Oh, fuck no, they're not, are they? Oh, do we have to? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do this all the damn time? Do I have to? They're hair extensions, aren't they? Tell me in chat. Tell me in chat. Now that I've zoomed in and we're looking at it here, what I'm seeing here is natural hair here, fringe, short, scruffy. I'm seeing very thin and fine hairline. I'm seeing actual hairline start a little further back, you know, fuller hair. And then in about here, I'm seeing blonde hair that just comes down, 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 down like that. That piece is the hair extension. There. This piece is the hair extension here, isn't it? Down, down, down. That piece is the hair extension. And that's why I'm seeing this hair coming out of the sides here and wisping away, because that's her natural hair and how far it goes. If I cover up with my hand there, you've got the hair on top is the one colour, and this hair extension is a different colour. So we're saying she's got hair extensions in, aren't we? Are we? Tell me in chat. Pat Sharp, it looks a little bit like it, doesn't it? Tell me if you think she's got hair, or is that her natural hair? Is that her natural blonde hair at the side, length going down there? I think she might have hair extensions in there, or something of the sort. But if she has, then, you know, it's questionable why she would have fake hair to make her look like Nicola just at the time of Nicola's disappearance, and be so confidently cocky, licking her lips on the telly while it's waving around. I don't think anyone else has said that, but like sometimes things just come while we're watching this shit, and I'm just like, actually, it's staring me in the face. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Do you know what I mean? She's looking very 80s here, isn't she? She's looking very 80s. She's looking like some woman you might have a row with at the market. She needs some big hoopy earrings. Looking very 80s. Anyway, look. You know when you're at the meat man at the market? I don't go there anymore because I'm vegan, but you know the meat man at the market? And he's like, I've got 2 chops in here, and I've got 2 chops and a bit of bacon, and I've got 2 chops, a bit of bacon, I'm dropping in a ribeye steak. Who wants this bag now? I'll do it for you for 20 quid. And you're like, me, I'll have that. And you put your hand up and she grabs it off, and then it's gone like, hey, I was having that. Like, it's like that woman at the market. That was my bag of meat. It's my meat now. You pay the man. Fuck, I'm not paying him. I don't even know you. I don't know her. She's had the meat. Oh, fucking hell. Don't even know her. Sticking out the tongue. Come on, like body language. I'm at this point, right? I know they don't watch. Like, we're deep into a live, aren't we? So I know they don't watch, and like, what can I say? But I need to edit it, don't I? But I'll do a little clip maybe. Please, if you're out there, body language guy, body language people. What's his other name? Spidey is good, isn't he? Spidey. Somebody's got to confirm with me whether I'm off my nut here, or if doing this sticking the tongue out bit is a right wrong un. Do you know what I mean? The behaviour panel, I'm having to bin them off because like, we're going to have to do another episode on their coverage of this. We're going to have to do a deeper episode on it, but I'm going to have to bin them off. But come on, someone, what do you think? This doesn't look like the picture of innocence to me. This looks like one of them where they've done that. They've gone on the telly to do a plea for the victim. Oh, I wish you'd come home. Oh, I hope, you know, could somebody help me find this, you know, we've got this e-fit of this person. And it turns out it's them. That's where I just get like, maybe I'm just going on instinct now, but there's something not quite right about this look to me. Is there? I don't know. It's not the. Don't cut away from her.
A weekend.
We were going out at the weekend, and I think she's smiling there because she's still planning to go out at the weekend, but not the way you think. I think she's planning to go out scouting up and down the river for a good place to dump a body, but, you know, we could all think things. It's the internet.
She's got play dates for the little girls arranged. We're going out at the weekend. It's just bizarre, and that's the...
And she decides there to... We're going to stop talking about that. I'm going to write that, like, that line of conversation there has been written off by me. Like, there's like a sort of voice of the demon again from her.
At the weekend, it's just bizarre.
Yeah, it's only small. I was exaggerating it.
Arranged, we're going out at the weekend. It's just...
Death. It's just death. Death. Like, don't say that. Stop it. We're going somewhere we don't need to.
It's just...
Yeah, it's just... And we jump on instead to... It's just... With this gleeful Duper's delight again. The big smile.
Just bizarre.
It's just bizarre. Like, we're back into that now. Like, the narrative, the story. It's bizarre. Bizarre. Is that the right word, though? Is it? That now we're jumping around in words. Is bizarre the right word? Bizarre. Is bizarre the right word for how you're feeling? Like, surreal, they suggested earlier, is a little more delicate, but you are on telly, you are talking on Good Morning Britain, and this is all kicking off. It is a bit bizarre, isn't it? But is bizarre the right word? You know, could I ask for a body language expert to come on? I am one! I am one. The problem with body language is that it's about who you trust in ways, because you can see other people's readings and you can get a feel for if they're good. Yeah? That's one way of doing it. But there's no certificate that says you can get a psychology degree. I did study psychology at university, thank you very much. But I didn't graduate, thank you very much. But you can get a degree in psychology. There is not a degree in body language. You can't have a master's in body language. There's no school of body language or anything like that. So it's something that we put together as information that we learn through psychological learning. And then you assimilate all your ideas and your knowledge, and then you put it into practice. And some people have better intuition. Other people, like me, I require it to be slowed down and paused all the time on the internet so I can like laboriously go through it. But other people can read it quite quick in the moment. Like there's different ways of feeling about it. But yeah, I'd like to get other people who have got good stock in that social, like so far as on social media, people trust them and I trust them and that. Yeah. I'm crying for them to do this one. Thank you very much, Lucia Olsen, for the $10 on the super chats there. Thank you, Avocado. Thank you very much. I'm crying out for somebody else to help me out on this one, because I think it screams of guilt, but it would be nice to have it corroborated.
Oh, and that's nothing makes any sense, does it, at this moment in time? She was walking the dog, and Nikki's a great animal lover. She loves...
Nikki's a great animal lover. Why did we jump from there to there? We got distracted, didn't we? You know, we got distracted. We got off the script, and now we're jumping around the script.
Loves her animals.
She loves her animals, got the tongue out. So, I've had my little laugh. Now it's time to get a little bit serious, because I do love animals as well. She loves her animals, and the tongue comes out as a fuck you to Willow. Maybe because somebody doesn't give a fuck about the ball and Willow and the fucking ball. Take the ball away from her then if she keeps fucking going for the ball. Just fucking don't have it. Yeah, but don't you care about animals? No, I don't. Not me. Nikki does. The fucking idiot. Fuck you, Willow. You're just a pawn in my game. Stay by the bench, Willow. I'm off. Little tongue out there with reference to Nikki's animals. Nicola doesn't have many animals, does she? Nicola's not out there in the fucking garden with the squirrels. Like, Nicola's not, like, tending to a flock of sheep. Nicola has children and Willow, and she loves them. But the way you think about them, when you refer to Nicola's love for them, inspires you to stick out your tongue in this impertinent manner. Fuck you.
Yeah, so actually, that's why we're all here, isn't it? Because nothing is making any sense.
That's why we're all here, isn't it? Because nothing's making any sense. She breaks down and we don't see, and it's off camera, but she's referring to you all, the media, you know, us watching. That's why we're all here, because it doesn't make any sense. Well, it makes a lot of sense to me if you just don't believe the bullshit you're talking, but carry on.
Oh, and Emma, look, we appreciate you joining us this morning, and hopefully...
Kate Garraway gives it, my favourite bit of Kate Garraway here is she gives it the oh dear.
Nothing is making any sense.
No. And Emma, look, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
She gets talked over, but oh dear. Like, oh dear. Oh dear. Did it rain again when you put the washing out? Oh dear. One of them, eh? One of them. When you murdered your friend and have to hide her body for ages before you put it in the river so you don't get caught, and you're on telly sort of creating a smoke screen and trying to suss out if the country's going to get behind you and give you millions of dollars on the old GoFundMe. Oh dear. It's one of them, eh? I don't know what Kate's trying to say there, but I think she's trying to say, I don't fucking believe you. I get a bad vibe from you, Emma. And instead, she's having to be on the telly and to try and look like, you know, compassionate towards the woman. But it comes across as being, to me, a little bit disingenuous in itself. But I like it. I like it. Sticking in chat there, the Source Networker says, sticking out the tongue through compressed lips signals that one has got away with something. So we've seen a lot of that with Emma. We've seen a lot of it. And we feel like she's got away. Yeah, that would totally agree with what we're saying. So I'm glad that somebody else says it. And I'll take that, and that, because for me, that's agreeing with me. I'll put that right on my pinboard of things that I agree with me, and I'll keep them up there. Everything that I don't agree with, bin you off. No, I listen to all of it's allowed in chat, listen to all the different opinions, and we investigate them all. But I do have my own feelings on it. I'm allowed to. I'm a human being. So they're my feelings on it.
And hopefully, as you say, somebody coming past today who may not have seen what's been...
Oh, a big smile. Look at you with your big smile. Somebody coming past today that might not have seen... Yeah, the bollocks will they, but go on. Big smile.
...going on, might have a little moment or a little memory jogged that could unlock what's happening, and do hold on to that.
And don't, obviously, worry while he's saying this that someone might have their memory jogged.
I hope, because we all are sending all our support and love to you all up there. Fingers crossed something happens and we can find...
She starts to take over now. Unbelievable. He's done the best bit of emotional, not emotional, but like factual plea. You know, hopefully somebody has their memory jogged and can come forward and to suggest that they've seen Nicola. You know, he does the best bit of it out of any of it. He's a media professional, okay? You know, he's done a lot of tipping point, okay? So he's a media professional. So I get it, but he does the best bit of it, you know, in terms of giving the plea to the public. Hopefully someone can come forward, jog the memory. She's smiling through it. She's thinking to herself, fuck no. And then I can't believe that she's got the audacity, as they're signing off so they can move on with their programme, to talk over him and to start up again. Like, if you're in that situation, you stand there quietly while they sign off, and then it's it, isn't it? That's it. She's not having that. I'm surprised with all the smiling and the confidence throughout his sign-off. I see it as Jupiter's delight. Job done. We've done the interview. You've believed me. I'm smiling. But it doesn't ring right with someone who's looking for their friend and all that, does it? But let's see what she tries to say at the end.
Bulley, as you say, somebody coming past today who may not have seen what's been going on might have a little moment or a little memory jogged that could unlock what's happening. And do hold on to that hope, because we all are sending all our support and love to you all up.
Or is it that she knew, like, earlier those people went past? You know, I'm a bit sus about that now, because you mentioned somebody coming past and she was smiling about the people that came past, maybe. I don't know about that.
There, fingers crossed, something happens and we can find her.
Definitely, and I know the family and friends of. We just want to say thank you to everyone, because
this gets a sneer of condescension, like a sneer of condescension. The family and friends, we just want to say thank you to everyone. The pay pigs are coming up with the money, and it's going in the GoFundMe, and like
because the strength that they're giving everybody by coming just to simple things, just sharing that little kindness is helping so.
She obviously doesn't mention money, but she talks about simple things, sharing a little kindness. She's talking about the GoFundMe, isn't she?
So much, and it is giving us that hope and
giving us that hope, giving.
But so thank you for the media and the police and all the efforts of the community.
So thank you to everyone. Like, she's winning an Oscar. Big smile, like little half cheeky cock smile there at the end. Actually self-satisfied. I would call that self-satisfied smile. She managed to get the plug-in at the end for the GoFundMe, but she managed to not look like a money-grubbing bitch. So self-satisfied, smug.
Wonderful. We wish you all the best, and as the Ben says, just pray that something comes forward. We're now joined by former Scotland Yard detective.
She's off, and she's off. She's such a chuffer, isn't she? All that smiling at the end, like.
And friends of just a simple.
We wish you all.
Like, all this smiling at the end, this smiling Emma, like, it just doesn't ring right, does it? Like, not even body language analysis now, just like your friend is missing, like, you know, it just doesn't ring right, does it? Big smile like that. For about a minute during the end of the interview, like, you know, overestimating, but tell me in chat, is there anyone in chat who, I'm banging on about it, so you probably agree with me, don't you? But is there anyone in chat, please tell me, who thinks this smile could be anything except guilt and self-satisfaction smug? Am I getting this wrong? Like, I worry sometimes, because I do have comments, you know, I worry sometimes that I might be leaning too heavy on this, and I don't want to bully the woman. Like, that's not my objective. I've been watching this thing on the telly in my country. She's on the telly doing this, and I got these things to say about it. And she's done a lot of interviews herself, so we've got a lot of things to react to. I didn't do all the interviews, but like, what do you think in chat? Like, you know, it's not good, is it? It's not good. It's not good, is it? The TV presenters have more respect. They certainly do, don't they? They certainly do. Like, neither of them have managed to crack a smile about the case, have they, during the whole thing? And for this one, when they said about my, when she said about my friend, and, you know, they're going out this weekend, that was probably, for me, the highlight of today's, you know, chunk of this. We're going to come on to the next interview in just a second. We've got another interview here, Missing Dog Walker. But for me, the highlight was what we're doing at the weekend.
Hope and so thank.
So let me just. Oh, hang on, my spacebar's doing that now. Don't do that. Do this.
But so thank you for the media and the police and all the efforts of the community. The strength that they're giving everybody by.
All our support and love to you all up there. Fingers.
We just want to say thank you to everyone.
Hope.
It's just bizarre, and that's good. Look at all the things. She's on a conference call for work.
Work
She's got
meeting.
Play dates for the little girls arranged. We're going out at the weekend. It's just bizarre, and that's all the things. She's on a conference call for work. She's got play dates for the little girls arranged. We're going out at the weekend.
Going out at the weekend. Little smile for that. Certainly a smile for going out at the weekend. I wonder what she's thinking about doing at the weekend. You know, obviously we're not going out with Nicola anymore, are we? Because, like... But I wonder what she's thinking about doing at the weekend. What's caught her attention? What's she doing at the weekend? What's Emma doing at the weekend? Got plans for the weekend, Emma? I wonder what I wonder, because she's smiling. She said work meeting just a minute ago. I wonder. Thank you, Jackie Rice, for the £5 super chat, super sticker. I wonder if the work meeting isn't their secret code for Paul can't. Sorry, Nikki. Going to be on a work meeting between 9 and 10. So, I'll just go and talk to Emma then. Oh, I think Emma's also on a work meeting. Oh, is she? Just go and walk the dog on my own then. On a work meeting. What are you doing at the weekend, Emma? Oh, we were going out, me and Nikki, but obviously not now because she's fucking dead in the... I mean, what are you doing talking about the weekend plans you've got with Nikki? Making you smile. What were you going to be doing? Or what are you doing with Nikki? Maybe you are doing something with Nikki still. Maybe it's funny. Certainly making you smile, isn't it? I want to swear at her, I just like, come on. And I've asked this question before about this eyeshadow, but now I'm asking it again because it just comes up. So get your thinking caps on in chat. I'll blow it up, right? I'll blow it up. Get your thinking caps on in chat. Tell me about this eye, because I'm still not convinced. I'll be honest. Is that eye? Is that shadow? Is that light, shade, shadow? Is that eyeshadow? Is it makeup? Because she's got all the big, people say, oh, she puts lots of eye makeup on. And I said, maybe she put a lot of eye makeup on to disguise something. Maybe she put a lot of foundation on first, and then it's still showing through, and like, oh, I'll put heavy smoky eyes to make it look like it's deliberate. Like, is that an eyeshadow or is that a bruise? Like, we all talk about Paul's bruises, and we've all looked at Paul's bruise on his eye. But is that an eye, an eye chuffer? Check my emails. I'm not checking them now. I'm on the fucking internet, mate. Sorry, the Source Networker. But I will have a look in the, in the near future. But I do admit that I'm not the best at checking on and replying to all the emails. Like, there's lots of them turn up in that folder, and it's like, for me, I don't know, I'm just not the most, I'm here talking on the internet, so this is my bit. I'm not the best at like opening and reading and replying to a lot of like messages. But yeah, I will check them. I will check. She looks pretty pleased with herself, you're saying. I mean, tell me about the eye. What you think about the eye. Because that's not the same makeup on both eyes. If it is makeup like that. The second eye is different. That's her actual face that I've just blown up. So, you're going to have to tell me what you think. I'm building a little Skrillus dubia. I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know. Is that, is that what it's supposed to look like on your face? I don't know. Certainly not supposed to be smiling like this, are you, chuffer? You bad chuffer. Ooh, you bad chuffer. Look at her. Ooh, you bad chuffer. Ooh, you bad chuffer. You bad chuffer. Ooh, you... Look at the little face. Look at her face. Hey, hey. Look at the little face. Hey. Hey. Look at her little face there. Hey. Hey. Fetch me another Jaffa cake. Hey. We're having a weekend of it. Fetch me another Jaffa cake. Hey. Hey. Emmy Award. And the Emmy Award goes to... Hey. Fetch me another Jaffa cake, you. And I'll suck you off behind the bins again. Alright, look. Next. Missing dog walker. You want to get this right. This is from Huda London Mental Health and Crime. She's in our chat. And she uploaded this from Great Britain News. And they did a little bit about it. Like, they're all down there, aren't they? Look, he's at the tennis club where Nicola has requested... Emma has requested... It's the hub. The tennis club is the hub. Emma's sorting it out. And if you want to go looking for her, you get your little leaflet with your little guidebook and tell you where to go. And you go on one of the approved listed routes. So they're there. They are there. They're there. They're there. They're there. They are there on the scene. He's got a Bulley hat on now. You're on the fucking news, mate. Take off your woolly hat. It's inappropriate. Paul went down that road and it didn't look good. What are you doing wearing your child's woolly hat? Take it off. You're on the news. The Berghaus is just about acceptable because it might be cold, but still, we expect, I mean, come on. This is not mainstream news, I'm thinking. GB News. I'm thinking it's not mainstream news. I'm not sure I like the cut of their jib. To be honest, it might be a bit right-wing Great Britain news, might be. But they're down there anyway. This chuffer's had his little talk into the microphone. I don't need to see that, but this is what we're here for. Ooh, ooh, look who it is. Look who it is. Now, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what date this exact news... Been missing since Friday morning, it says. So you would assume this is within a week, wouldn't you? Because otherwise you couldn't say Friday morning. But I would like it if they put the date on their news thing, but they didn't, the fuckers. Right. It's about within a week. Look who it is. Look who it is.
Nikki is just a lovely human being inside
Nikki's just a lovely human being inside
and out.
And out. And her mate's like looking at her. This mate is on the news looking at her. And Nikki's doing the smiling. And her mate's looking at her. And I know what she's thinking, that mate. I'd love to get her on and have a chat to her. Do I fancy Emma White? Ooh, I'd give her one. Ooh, I'd give her one. No, I think I'll be alright without having sex with Emma White, thanks. Like, she might look a bit, you know, makeup presentable, news. But when you see her running someone down on Sports Day, you get a different feeling. Yeah, get me Emma White. No, look, anyway, she's looking at her. Her mate's looking at her. She's doing the smiling. She's wearing different clothes here as well. She said Nicola's a beautiful human being, which is weird because human being's a weird choice of words. And inside and out makes me confused as well because, like, what do you mean about inside and out? You mean she looks beautiful as well as has a good personality. But, like, it makes me feel like outdoorsy. Outdoors. Inside and outdoors. Like, she's a beautiful person inside and outdoors now, where we're keeping her outdoors. It just makes me think of that. I don't like it. The setting here, we're on a lane with a farm building. I can't picture exactly where we are, but I think we're by Penny's farm nearby, in that vicinity of area. I think nearby. We would be nearby the river, wouldn't we? And they've tried to get aside. It might be that lane that goes up. At the top of it is Penny's farm up there. You don't see any of the friends crying, says Huda. Good point. Although this one on the left, like, I would maintain this as well, right? If it was, you've got friends and you've got friends. So I've got close friends, and if anything happened to them, like, I'm worried, I'm anxious, I'm on the news. I might not cry, but I'll be worried and anxious, yeah? At this point, they don't know she's dead, so they're hoping they might find her. But if they're just people in the village who go to the same school, and you're friends, but, you know, it's just a chuffer from down the road, they might not be that tight, and they might not feel that, like, you know, I know you're supposed to on the news and everything and all that, but I don't know if you might feel, you know, maybe not that tight. It's not such a problem. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't expect them to all break down, but I would expect them to exhibit some signs of stress, anguish, stuff like that. I wouldn't expect them to be all like this one on the left hasn't bothered to do all her makeup like Emma has. Like, and I think she's looking at her as well, thinking you've got a full face of slap on here for, like, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, going out on a muddy trek to see if we can find Nicola. You put your full face of slap on. I don't think she's getting the same, like, vibe as, like, Emma stood in one position toward camera, and she seems to have stood slightly off and away and, like, twisted her body, so she's sort of, like, facing the camera, but actually she's getting more of a look of of Emma at this juncture, isn't she?
Living a normal life, dropping the children off at school, going on a daily walk, things planned, going out at the weekend, seeing friends. There's
a lot of head nodding and shaking amplified by this big bobble hat that she's wearing. So sort of
the lovely human being
listing
inside and out, living a normal life, dropping the children off at school, going on a daily walk, things planned, going out at the weekend, seeing friends and family. Yeah, you just can't make
things planned at the weekend came up again.
Things planned, going out at the weekend, seeing friends and family.
Things planned, going out on the weekend, seeing friends and family. It's a different list here.
Being inside and out, was living a normal life, dropping the children off at school, going on a daily walk, things planned, going out the weekend, seeing friends and family. Yeah, you just can't make sense that this is actually happening and here we are.
So you can't make sense that this is actually happening and here we are. So this time it's a bit different. Okay, this time it's a bit different. She does her thing where she strains into the person asking the question again, and she's completely ignoring the other woman. She didn't turn to the other woman as if to say, do you have anything to say on this question? Like, I've answered the question, I'll go on to the next question, thank you. You shut up and stand next to me. Like, we'll ask, when it's your turn, they'll ask you. You know, she didn't bring her in. She did this thing, right, where actually what she did here, the subtext of what she was saying was, it's a suicide. And I've said the word now, which I didn't want to, because we get binned off on the old, you know, oh, it's not acceptable, it's not, but she listed those things as if to say, she's got these things planned, so we shouldn't be here looking for her, like, almost as if, like, she can't understand how this has happened, but like, I feel like there's a subtext there, as if to say, you should put that together in your mind to say, I think she might have gone in the river. I think she might have done the big S because of the way you didn't. Oh yeah, you didn't, but I know that you wouldn't, because I would. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's leaving you a breadcrumb trail there and then letting you fill in the final words, I think.
I suppose knowing Nikki and what type of person she is, a mum and a partner, this is out of character?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Nikki, as you said.
Very uncomfortable, that answer. Yeah, definitely, yeah. And a shuffle of the shoulders.
Knowing Nikki and what type of person she is, a mum and a partner, this is out of character? Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Nikki, as you said, we're a rural village, we're just...
Like, don't you think this almost looks like somebody who's been caught by the teacher smoking? They've just done the fag away. Like, are you smoking? No. Yeah, I know. Like, they almost look like she almost looks a bit like a naughty, younger, like naughty, like, you know, there's almost like a... I don't get the right vibe again. It's a vibe now. It's a vibe check for someone who's looking for their friend.
And what type of person she is, a mum and a partner, this is out of character?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Nikki, as you said, we're a rural village. We're just normal people.
We're a normal village. We're a rural village, meaning we're out in the countryside. We're a rural village. We're just normal people. So she's just making an assertion here. Nicola's missing. Yeah, we in the village are all normal people. So, like, she's making like a kind of assertion about life. I would say that could be indicative of deception. I would then question, is it? Because you've said it to me and you want me to believe that. Is it though? Like, that's what you've come forward with here. We're all normal in this rural village. Because I know a lot of rural villages, but I don't know a lot of people in the world who are like, and this woman giving her the look. Like, are you fucking having a laugh? Don't you remember last week when Tom set fire to the barn because his wife was shagging that bloke up the road? And do you know what I mean? Like, this shit goes on. Do you know what I mean? Like, so she's looking at her thinking, have you gone out? Like, again, the friend here is a barometer. This friend is a barometer. Doesn't give us like the backup sort of feel. So, like, she's not got her arm around her or anything. Like, it's like she's almost here to sort of say, what? Like she's getting the vibe. She's getting the weird vibe off of her. But Emma's not really aware of how she's presenting to that lady because she's ignoring her, trying to present to the news. It's a kind of weird collection of dynamics here.
Simple lives, yeah, it's completely...
Simple lives.
Out of character, yeah.
And then
completely
just
out of character.
On the point about the family, how is the family coping at this point? You're quite close to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got children at the same school and...
This is a look down and a touch of the head. That's an interesting one. We've got children at the same school. We've both got children. The family. Is this a look of shame? Or is she trying to hide a smile again? She's definitely trying to mask her face, I would say. When you inadvertently bring the hand up when you're answering, it's a sign of deception because when you're little and you sell a lie or you do something naughty, you cover your naughty. But when you grow up, you don't do that in conversation. Naughty. But you instinctively like self-cover and like hide the face sometimes. It might be a touch like this, you know, and it's that same sort of thing. So it's a compulsion to hide the face.
And at this point, you're quite close to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got children at the same school and that's...
And there is a like slight half smile, a look down. Is it a dead-eyed look?
That's how our relationship began. You imagine...
That's how our relationship began.
absolutely. We've got children at the same school, and that's how our relationship began. You imagine yourselves, Paul's got an immense job.
Paul, right. I should have said it before I let it run on. That's how our relationship began, and now we're on to Paul. So, you know, you're saying masking the dupers again, yeah. I'm saying dupers delight. Like, smiles are coming up here, condescension. She's thinking about Nicola and how the relationship began, and then Paul comes into her mind. They've got children at the same school. Well, Nikki might have children. Paul's got children at the same school. That's how the relationship began. It doesn't have to be Nikki. Look at that look as well. I just skip back to when she's listening to the question. I mean, obviously at this point, Nikki's only been missing a few days, so it's less like the focus is on you and people saying it's you and this and that. Very strongly pursed, smiling lips, self-satisfaction. And look at the way her friend is reacting to her.
Quite close to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got children at the same school, and that's how our relationship began.
And she slurs over it as well, and that's how our relationship began. Like, thinking of something that you don't want to say here, accidentally saying it.
You imagine yourselves.
You imagine yourselves.
Paul's got an...
Paul. It's that single white female thing again, isn't it? It's that, like, you know, it's that bunny border thing again. You've seen her at the school. You've seen Paul. You've seen her beautiful children and their car and Paul, and you imagine yourself like her. Like, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. It makes me sometimes wonder, because I've said, you know, all along I've said I think Paul's sus. I done a murder sus, yeah? But it could be that he didn't do the murder and that he's just sus, and that there's other reasons why he's covering up or complicit or whatever. Maybe she's the driving force in this sometimes, I wonder. Like, this admonition here of, like, she's told us that she sees them at the school gates and she, like, imagines herself and Paul, like, a relationship started. What? I'm only going on what the word she said.
Quite close to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got children at the same school, and...
We've got... See, he says you're quite close to the family. He doesn't say you're quite close to Nikki. He says you're quite close to the family. So she's thinking about the family. It could be Paul she's thinking about. She says Paul. So imagine, forget Nikki. Yeah. Now it's saying
just,
Paul.
On the point about the family, how is
the family
coping at this point?
How's the family? So he could be talking about the dad, the moment. No. Imagine we're talking now about Paul. And she pulls a smile that she doesn't want to, like, reveal. Holding back from a big teethy smile. Holding that back. Big smile, though. Big, like, you know, big smile, shaking their head. Not going to say this.
Quite close to the family.
And then a nod as she gulps it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got children at the same...
Talking about Paul, we've got children at the same school.
Same school, and that's how...
And hiding a smile again.
Our relationship began.
And that's how our relationship began.
You imagine yourselves.
You imagine yourselves, because you couldn't have each other, because you had to imagine to start with, didn't you? At the school gates and whatever.
Paul's got an immense job of...
Got an immense job. Got an immense job, did he? Got an immense job, did he?
You imagine yourselves. Paul's got an immense job of...
Got an immense job. Maybe Paul the narc, maybe Emma the narc. I don't know. Maybe Paul was like, I'm in aerospace, baby. Oh yeah, Top Gun glasses, baby. Aerospace, baby. And she's like, Paul's got a top job. Like...
You imagine yourselves.
You know, because now we know that there's that string of failed businesses and all that, but I imagine Paul didn't tell them that at the school gates, did he?
Paul's got an immense job of looking after his family, support.
And what she really is saying here, though, Paul's got an immense job of looking after his family, which is weird because you would think that she would say Paul's got an immense job of never stopping looking for Nicola until he finds her. Like, there's the picture of them up and down the... I want to swear. There's the picture of them up and down the river where she was apparently drifting around before she was found. In the reeds or something. That dog didn't spot her, nor did those 3 chuffers on the boat. 4 chuffers. One of the chuffers is pushing the paddle. I don't expect them to look. You know, concentrate on the paddle. Don't have us tipping in. But the others, they should be looking.
Yeah, imagine the roller coaster he's going on, living this, as he says, perpetual nightmare.
Perpetual nightmare. How do you know what he says?
Paul's got an immense job of looking after his...
There was a bit of a smile.
Paul's got an immense job of...
And there's like this, the moment where she says it, this woman who's next to her does something with her hand and it kind of puts her off her stride slightly. Because she thinks, like, are we getting into deeper water? Like, you know, she's talking about Paul, she's on telly. You You know, she questions herself as to what she's about to say, and then she gets into the flow of it, like nodding along. But there's a slight smile, again, as she gets into the flow of it.
His family supporting the girls, yeah, imagine the roller coaster he's going on living.
Roller coaster comes up again, so supporting the girls, roller coaster.
This, as he says, perpetual nightmare.
Perpetual, pick up a penguin. Perpetual nightmare, as Paul says. I don't remember him saying perpetual nightmare.
So you can put yourselves in those shoes and think the roller coaster they are going on.
So you can put yourselves in those shoes and think about the roller coaster they're going on. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's like, I'm not going to describe the anguish that Paul's going through. You can think of that yourself. You can work that out for yourself. And why would you want to? Oh, because you want to give me some money, don't you? If you feel sad. Like, you could put your shoes... Like, it's also her putting herself in Nicola's shoes. You could put yourself in, you know, like what I just described. Let's take Nicola out of the picture and let's put me in there. Let's put me in there. I prefer... I'm going to get Nicola out and I'm going to put me in there. I'm going to put myself in her shoes.
Yeah, a character, yeah.
And then just on the point about the family, how is the family coping at this point? You're quite close to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got children at the same school, and that's how our relationship began. You imagine yourselves, Paul's got an immense job of looking after his family, supporting the girls. Yeah, imagine the roller coaster he's going on, living this, as he says, perpetual nightmare. So you can put yourselves in those shoes and think the roller coaster they are going on. And we've got...
So you can put yourselves in those shoes and think the roller coaster they're going on. So it makes me think that she thought that Nicola was living an exciting life and that her life is mundane and boring and she yearns for excitement. And it worries me that in this whole thing of going on the camera and talking to the camera, just getting away with it, illicit sex behind closed doors, but just getting away with it, you know, this excitement in life of knowing something that other people don't know. And Nicola apparently with Paul was on a roller coaster, or Paul is now on a roller coaster, but she said they're going on, like, meaning the family. And I just relate it back to even before she went missing and say, I imagine Emma saying, imagine the roller coaster they're going on. Like, fun, rides, excitement, joy, you know, the roller coaster, like living the good life. You know, I imagine her living, like, it might not be the truth, but that seems to be what Emma is. You know, she's talking about other people living this roller coaster. Yeah.
We're here again as a community to support that, and that's why we are.
And she gets stutters her words.
So you can put yourselves in those shoes and think the roller coaster they are going on. And we've got to be here again as a community to support that, and that's why we are out here.
And we've got to be here. We've got to be here as a community to support that.
Here in conditions like this, just trying to find.
And we're here in conditions like this. She means it's raining. Like, that's fucking... I know it's not on camera, so I can't look at her face, but isn't it awful that she said that? You know, that's why we're here in conditions... That's narcissism 101. She's becoming the victim. We're out looking for Nicola because she might be dead in the water. And, of course, it's raining. So, you know, it's a bit of a hindrance to me, but I'm still going to go out and do it. So, you know, bit of a big chuffer here. You know, that's why we're here in conditions like this. Conditions like this. Do you remember the other year when we went out looking for your friend that we thought was dead that turned up dead? Oh yeah, and we went out in those awful conditions. Do you mean when it rained? Yeah, when it rained. Yeah, those awful conditions. Did you have to put your coat on? I had to put my coat on. Awful conditions. Do you remember we were under such awful conditions? We had to go out in the rain. It slightly rained. Slightly. Brightened up towards the afternoon, didn't it? Yeah, it did, yeah. Awful conditions.
And any clues we can.
We are just trying.
And she said clues.
Here in conditions like this, just trying to find any clues we can.
Trying to find any clues we can. Clues. So it's a case. Clues. What are clues for? What do you mean clues? We're trying to find Nicola. Clues. What? Clues to her disappearance? Clues to her turning up dead in the river? Clues. We're using the word clues. So it's like true crime. It's somebody who watches true crime. It's somebody who watches murder mysteries. You know, clues. Like, if it was me, I might not use the word clues because it might seem like a bit of a weird word to be like. I'm not chuffing. You know, I'm not Inspector Morse. I don't think Inspector Morse looks for clues. You know, I'm not Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, like, I'll be out looking for signs. I'll be out looking for Nick. Personally, I think I'd be on the money. I'd be on the. Money's a funny word in this context, isn't it? Sorry, I didn't want to use meat and potatoes because I think that's even worse. But I'd be on the matter. I'd be at the matter at hand, Nicola. I want to try to find Nicola, not just any clue, but actually her herself. But she always brings it down to these small clues. These small clues.
We are just trying to hold on
Now it's her friend, the other friend.
to the hope. That's what's keeping us going.
The clues we can.
We are just trying to hold on to the...
And then there's one she says, so when she says we and she labours over it, she doesn't actually agree that it's we. She's not sure about we. She's not sure about Emma, but she wants to say, I am trying to just hold on to hope. But she's got us because we're in the same shot, so we, but I don't know about you.
Conditions like this, just trying to find any clues we can.
We are just trying to hold on to the hope.
So we're trying to hold on to the hope. Hold on is words where I would expect, I could say, oh, hold on, you're trying to choke somebody or anything like that. But also she's trying to hold on. She doesn't want to let things get out of hand. She doesn't want to, she wants to try and keep things normal. She wants to hold on to what, she's a bit worried about stuff. She doesn't want to let go and go into her worries and allow her worries to take over. She wants to hold on to hope. And in this instance, literally, that Nicola might still be alive. Yeah,
that's what's keeping us going. Knowing that her 2 little girls are at home missing mummy, and knowing that mummy is missing is what's driving us forward.
That almost sounds like the script. It almost sounds like she's been briefed. And at the same time, while this is happening, Emma is literally looking down looking down and at her. Yeah, Heather here is being monitored by Emma. Heather is being monitored by Emma while she's delivering this. So I wonder if they pre-organised, I'll say this bit, you say that bit. She's used the same language and the same terms. The kids are at home looking out for mummy, so waiting to see if mummy comes home. So I wonder if that was a scripted aspect of it.
We know that knowing Nikki, her family are everything. And
then so this is going off the script a little bit. Knowing Nikki, her family are everything.
We know without...
I don't like that myself because it's just like it's it's just like no, it's a bit cliched, isn't it? Like, whose family aren't important to them? Whose family are not important to them, but agree, I suppose, agree.
Know that knowing Nikki, her family are everything.
So there's a difference here, though. When Emma aligned these facts, she sort of said, I couldn't imagine it would happen that somebody who was making a work meeting and had got a play date might disappear. And then someone might counter that and say, oh no, quite actually, when people do the big S, quite often they make, plans and all that, and then things just happen out of the blue and you don't know. Like, that can be, and I didn't know that. Oh, it points towards the big S, doesn't it? Here, she's saying something different. She's saying her family are quite important to her, so I don't think she would have done the big S. That's what she's kind of saying.
And we know without a doubt that if she could be at home with them, that's where she'd be.
We only get a very short bit, but she's talking about Nicola being at home with her family. Like, her focus is on Nicola and the family. Look at Emma's face. Suddenly it's got a bit serious, or you might say boring. You might say she looks a bit angered, not anger, tedium. Narcissist, attention not on her. Other person talking.
And we know without a doubt that if she could be at home with them, that's where she'd be.
And then we get a slight creepy turn of the head from Emma right at the end. She's pursed her lips, and this turn of the head clearly is to the producer again, like I'm saying. There's somebody off camera who has asked the questions, and that's where they've said cut. And she's checking to see if, again, once that question's delivered, she's sharp on you. Like, in an argument, in a conversation, in a back and forth, when it's an interview, whatever, she's sharp on. Like, she locks on and she reads and takes in, and she's thinking, she's cognitive. She's like, you see the difference in the faces. This one's more open and less like, which face would you rather go and sit down and say hello to? Like, this one looks more sharp and focused and like edgy, and this lady seems more just normal. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, it's more obvious when she stood next to somebody else for Emma, the way she's like a laser focused cobra when someone's asking her a question. DB's being rude to me. Sorry, I wasn't keeping up on chat. I saw that you're posting and repeating, so what I'll do is I'll pop you in a timeout. DB got timed out. I'm apologising in advance if you think, no, this is wrong, right? You shouldn't be timed out. But I did notice you were repeatedly posting this thing about Emma and a body or something. And I did think, what is that? And now someone called it to my attention in chat. So you got timed out, but you're not gone forever. You can come back when the timeout is done. And just be careful about what you post in there. Someone might bring it up and say that it looks like you're being rude. Like, I have to maintain and moderate. I want lots of different voices. So just, you know, sorry if you got banned. You're not sorry if you got timed out and you feel it was unjust. Sorry, you're coming back. So let's just move over that when you come back, and we don't have to talk about it again in the future. Thanks. Yeah, missing dog walker, they call it as well. Missing dog walker. I wouldn't be having that. I'd be angry about that. I'd be like, Nicola Bulley missing. Why isn't it Nicola Bulley's photograph? Mainly, I mean, obviously they talk about it in their broadcast. Like this man talks. They talk. They do the river thing.
Spaniel dog was found.
Where's the photograph? Where's the plea? Please come back. There it is, look, on the lamppost. We've got a shot of it. Got that on the lamppost. That'll get her back. That'll do the job. It feels like they don't, even the news people don't feel that she's coming back. Do you know what I mean? And that's quite early on. It's a funny arrangement, isn't it, this interview? It's a very funny arrangement of... we don't see Emma like this in the future. She doesn't present like this in the future. The bobble hat, blonde hair, gilet. Like, she even looks more like Nicola just with that get-up, doesn't she? Just the addition of the bobble hat covers the rest of her hair, and then you've got this hair coming down, it's blonde. Right. Although we did get something really great out of this, didn't we? What we got out of this is relationship.
And that's how our relationship began. You imagine yourselves, Paul's got an immense job of...
So you imagine your relationship began, school, you imagine yourselves, Paul's job. All came in a big number of words all together. Nicola's name wasn't mentioned during that. That was all just talking about you and Paul and your relationship. So managed to drop that, managed to slip that one out. Slip it out, slip it in. Managed to drop it out and slip it in. Whoops. Sorry, you did it, not me. Right, Emma White interviews. This one, we'll finish with this. This is from The Independent.
Beautiful person. You see the pictures of her, so she's beautiful on the outside, but she's
as
also
promised, because I did say Emma White crying. As promised, here's Emma White crying. Do you want it really big? How big do you want it? It may be that she might even shed a tear in this one. You know, she might even shed a tear. We'll see.
The soul on the inside, she's thoughtful, she's caring.
They already shot it quite close up because this person who's shooting this knows what the fuck they're doing. Yeah? Like, I was arguing that we need to see more of the wide angles for the body language, but whoever shot this, they know what they're doing. They're looking for her to cry on the internet, on the telly. At this juncture, she's done other interviews and they want her to cry. So what they've done is they've shot the shot like quite tight up, tight on her face. Get a tight shot of that. I want to see tears. And if she cries, you need to get a close-up of those tears for me, because this is going on my news and I want my news to get the views. So tears, please. Are you ready? Okay, Emma, we're going to want to see tears. We're going to want you to be upset. We're going to want you to show, like, you know, if you can cry, just let it go, Emma. Just let it go. Don't worry about being on the news, Emma. If you can cry, just let it go. Let it go, Emma. Like, they've probably done a shot. They've probably done a take, and they probably said, cut, Emma. Like, she's gone like, yeah, me and Paul, we're on the work meeting. You've seen her phone, and like, she's gone, Emma, look, you're about to be on my news, and I don't want to, like, you know, I'm not trying to throw any accusations around here, Emma, but I need to be, I think we're going to have to re-record this. And the thing is, Emma, I think you come across a little bit like, I just want to say, can we get a close-up? What about the crying? And like, you know, I think they've just discussed it, and they think they've decided to do a shot where she's going to go for the full emotional. So I think she's put on extra eye makeup for that reason, so that if she does have a good cry, it might dribble down her face and make the look, you know, the full look. I'm going to try and look at her eyes. It's all in the eyes.
And
That's
then you
Nicola.
add her and Paul together, add a little bit of magic, and they've created these two beautiful humans who are just wanted
That's the script. We've heard that script before.
to know where their mummy is. Obviously, our children are great.
Nicola's eyes in this photograph. I don't know why they use this photograph, because in this photograph, Nicola's eyes look anguished and panicked, and like, you know, with a sort of look of like, she's got the smile on. You can't see the smile because I've cut it off, but her eyes ain't smiling.
Great friends, and my little girls wrote the family a letter.
Your little girls wrote the family a letter, did they? Hang on. Your little girls wrote the family a letter. Did your little girls wrote the family a letter? So that's appropriate for the mainstream national news then, I think. I think it is anyway. I think that's probably what you would do.
I can read a few words. Harry, if you ever want to talk or go in the peace room, they go in the peace room at school.
I don't know what the Pisha is at school. I know this is almost like a name check for her kids. It's like the arrogance of the woman to be like, yeah, let's read the names of my children out on the telly so that like we get my name check for my kids. They wrote this awful, beautiful letter. Awful, beautiful. I mean, it encapsulates how we all feel in the village. Like, and yeah, it's like she's trying to cry. I'll tell you what the hen. What can you do to make me cry? Well, I'm not crying over Nikki and her kids because fuck them. So I'm going to get my kids to write a letter, and then I can think about how my kids feel, and me, and it can make me cry because it's my wonderful kids and their lovely emotions. Like, it's just a bit too much. It's a bit too much, and I don't know if you have like children out there, but I don't, so maybe I shouldn't be the judge of this, but I think when serious shit like this is going down within the weeks of Nicola going missing, getting them to write letters to the potentially dead, or like potentially like getting them to write letters like this, I mean, it might be that it helps them to work through their feelings, or it might be that it's a bit creepy and on the nose, and maybe your kid should be like distracted and, you know, help to talk about their feelings in the right context, and then, you know, going to school and in their routine, and, you know, maybe writing letters to, like, okay, but let's see what the kids say. I mean, I don't really want to see what her kids say. I don't want to bring her kids into it. I think this is a bit weird. I think now I'm bringing her kids into it, but I'm not. She is. And like, I think it's just fucked up. People in chat saying she probably wrote this herself. Could have wrote this herself. Could have just sat them around and asked them for ideas, and then she, like, I think you like being close to Emma. I wouldn't mind, you know. Do you know what? Out of all this, I mean, I'd worry that she might jump over the table and try and throttle me, but I'd have her in here, and she could sit here. She might not want to smell the smoke. We could meet up in a neutral location. I'd interview her. I'd do that. I'd be up for that. You know, ask her to her face. I think this about you, Emma. I think that. What'd you say about this? Yeah, but come on, what about that? And like, you know, once we've had it on tape, then we've had it on tape, and I can't, you know, what else can I do? Like, but I would do that. Be a bit worried that it might be like the gloves are off. You know, Dillian, you know, Carl Froch and George Groves. We can all have a pull and a push. We can all have a push. It might just go off like Dillian White and Derek Chisora. All from her side, obviously. Work meeting.
Harry, if you ever want to talk or go in the peace room, they go in the peace room at school.
Harry, if you ever want to talk or go in the peach room, whatever, the peach room, I think she's saying. I don't know what she means. Then we can go in the peach room. So that's Harry name checked on the internet.
We're always there for you. We love you so much. Sophia.
She sort of does this with her nose. I'm not seeing the tears yet, but, you know, this is obviously, you know, what we're going for. It does help that she stood into the wind so that the wind blows in her eyes.
If you ever want any hugs, that's fine too. Or
Sophia, so I'm not saying their names again. She's saying their names, but like, if you ever want any hugs, that's fine too.
Nikki's out there thinking you're the best husband. If you want any hugs, that's fine too. Poor Nikki.
Paul, what? Hang on, wait. Emma's got 3 children, right? Emma's got 3 children, and they've written a letter.
If you ever want to talk or go in the rooms, and my little girls wrote.
Her little girls say this, she says. Her little girls. So 2 of her little children, the 2 girls.
Have a letter. I can read a few words. Harry, if you ever want to talk.
Harry, that's one of her children, so that's not one of the girls, but that's one of her children.
Go in the peace room. They go in the peace room at school. We're always there for you. We love.
So, Harry, I'm assuming, has said this. Not that, like, this bit's for Harry, but yeah.
Thank you so much. Sophia, if you ever.
She names a girl's name. I'm assuming that's one of her children has written this bit.
Any hugs, that's fine too. Poor Nikki's there.
Paul. Paul's next on the list. Are you right? Are you okay? You somehow Paul's got on the list ahead of the third child. Forget the children. Paul now. We're on to Paul.
Poor Nicky's out there thinking you're the best husband.
Paul, Nicky's out there thinking you're the best husband
in the world.
In the world. Again, we're not seeing the tears. We're not seeing the tears. Fake crying is a massive sign of the narcissist. But I do believe she manages to force a couple out here. Still, fake crying is a sign of a narcissist. Paul, you're the best husband in the world. She's out. Nicky's out there. She says, out there. What? Out there in the river? Out there thinking you're the best husband in the world. She's not indoors somewhere. She's not up there. She's out there thinking you're the best husband in the world. Paul, you're third on the list. Lulu, I don't know.
Nicky's sister, she's thinking you're the best.
Nicky's sister, right. Nicky's sister, you're next on the list. So, like, this is like a weird... The weird thing about this, right? Okay, her kids might have written this, but it's very unlikely that her children are going to start listing all of Nicola's family members. Oh, Lulu, obviously. We want to write about Lulu in this. And what, we're going to have a dad next? Like, do you know them that well? You're her children. You go to school with her children. Like, you're Emma's children and you go to school with Nicola's children. Like, how well do you know Nicola's wider family? And how concerned are you with their feelings at this juncture? And why did you feel to write this thing down? It's very contrived, isn't it? And it almost feels to me like someone that's guilty has made a list of all the parties that are slighted and offended, hurt by the fact that you've murdered their loved one. And it's almost like a list of like contrition, like my little guilt list. These are all the people. Paul, you're a wonderful husband. Well, you still can have that. Not I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry. Not like I'm sorry. But I'm sorry, but almost like you're listing the people who you should be sorry for or to, if you were the person that had done this. And is that a place that you can draw your sadness from to get this crying going? Do you need to be doing this crying? Because it's 50-50, isn't it? If it was me and my partner and they were out there, I'd be stressed and I'd be, out of this, but the crying might come a little bit later. But the emotional crying plea, please come back. I wish you were, if it's your person that you're missing, if it's your partner, you've got that emotion, please come back, do you know what I mean? But if it's your friend and you're doing this organised campaign to try and get her back, and it just seems a bit contrived. It's like we've decided we want tears for this one. Do you know what I mean? Get the violins out. Exactly, Sasha, get the violins out. And so what we've gone for is we've gone for a list of all the people who are hurting, and we're reading them out and stating reasons why, not why they're hurting and that Nicola should come back for them, but we're just giving them a big up, giving them some praise. If you ever want to go and have a hug, you can have a hug. And if you ever, you're such a good husband and you're such a good sister, and you shouts out to you for, it's a weird choice of, maybe it does make her start to get upset if she's guilty, because if she's not guilty, then this is something that you are, you're trying to have Nicola here out there. These are the people that want you back. But if you are guilty, then these are the people you've hurt. Do you know what I mean? So I'm finding this very difficult to understand why you've written this list, but you apparently have, and this is the way you're going. Yeah.
Best sister in the world. And Willow, you're so cute. She's thinking you're the most amazing doggy owner, and I really miss you.
Make sure you get the dog in there.
And that was from my daughter.
And that was from my daughter. So now it's that narcissism thing again, is it? That was from my daughter. How impressive it is that your daughter wrote that. Apparently it was, but you said it was from Harry and you said it was from this other one, and then you said in it she wrote about Paul and the... I don't know. I'm not buying it, but apparently it's from your daughter. Big raise of the eyebrows, slight line here and dimple here of the mouth. Maybe a duper's delight.
So we are appealing today. As I said, it's a tough milestone.
So we are appealing today. As I said, it's a tough milestone. We've got that milestone again. We talked about the milestone before, about how milestones didn't seem correct in this context until you maybe put it in a different context, where you could say, after 7 days, that's a milestone for DNA evidence, where you might not be able to recover any. So that might work.
Today, anybody with any information to help these guys?
And just there, as the frame moves round, just in the dimple of her nose there, there's a slight glint where maybe one tear, maybe one tear has been expressed. Maybe. You know, you could, that's the tears they're looking for. They've got right in, zoomed in close. They've managed to just 1 pixel. You just got a pixel.
These guys.
These guys, she says, because the police go past. And when she sees the police, she pulls this face. The fear of the toothless witch.
And that was from my daughter. So we are appealing today. As I said, it's a tough milestone today. Anybody with any information to help these guys?
These guys, the police, these guys.
We just need something to... It's not making sense. We've got no information.
There is a bit of glisten around her eyes as well, isn't there? There is a bit of a glisten around her eyes. But they're not tears, are they? She's not crying. Like... Fake crying, big red flag, symbol of a narcissist. We don't like it at all. We're not fans of that.
Since we've got no information.
Spitting with rain. It's yeah, exactly. It could be a raindrop for all I know.
So please, we're appealing to you today.
All that snivelling and all that sniffing, you know, and also with all the snivelling and sniffing, this one tear has managed to make its way down here, and with all the snivelling and sniffing and touching the nose, you would think if you were actually crying, you would wipe that tear away, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to make sure that's on camera. That's staying there. Big, that tear, that one, that's staying there.
Hence why the community once again has come out in force.
They're cutting her off there, the community coming out in force there. But I just got that on Sentries. It is fake crying, isn't it? The police come past. It's compelling viewing. You know, get me an Oscar, but or get me a Jaffa cake. I don't know. It's compelling viewing. Emma, we've given her a right lick of a dog today, haven't we? I mean, I could go over this one again, I think. But if you want to send me any more Emma White interviews, then either send them to superchuffer@informalfilms, or you can send them to truebinaural@outlook.com, but it takes me a long time to chug through all those emails, and I can't promise a response. But I'm looking for as many Emma White interviews as possible. We will keep going through them. I may even revisit the ones we've looked through already. Quite happy to do that. Hula London has told me that they've got a few on their channel, so I will give them the shout out. I will check out their channel. They're in our chat right now, so I'm going to be checking out some of their videos. You can too. I would also say that we are doing chocolate. I want to do it tomorrow, I think.
Police searching for missing woman Nicola Bulley.
All right, you with the Nicola Bulley. I think tomorrow I want to do it, the chocolate tier list. So the idea for tomorrow's stream is, it sounds a bit nuts. It's coming up to Easter. It can't all be doom and gloom. It can't all be murder. I'm going to make a big list of all your favourite chocolates. Anyone get in chat, you know, you've got to be there tomorrow to get this list going. Like, we can all do it. Like, okay, we're going to do a list. I take a picture of each one. We put it in tier list maker. And in tier list maker, I'm just going to open a random tier list. Save and exit, thank you. Random tier list, please. Just give me a tier list. Here's a tier list, look, with football players. So you put the players in. Oh, I think this one's really good. They go at the top. Oh, I don't think that one's really good. Messi should go at the top, shouldn't he? Messi. Oh, he should go at the top. But who should go at the bottom? Oh, and like we argue about it, yeah? So I take all the pictures of all the chocolate you suggest. And then we make it into the tier list. And then for Easter special, we will do the tier list. And you can be in chat. You can vote higher or lower. We can arrange it, or we can have a chat about choc. So two streams about our favourite chocolate. That would just be fun though, yeah? I just think it's fun. So we're going to do it on the main channel. We're going to do it here. I don't expect it to be the most busy stream, but if you're interested and you want to have fun, then it's there for you. We can do it, yeah? We'll see how it goes. So that's probably tomorrow's stream. I've also got in the pipeline... I'm on Twitter, and I'm getting notified by Richard quite a lot of like Nicola Bulley stuff, psyop stuff. So I go on there. Look, here's one. The police walking through the gate. There's some audio on it. So, like, first of all, I'm not going to do this now, but like, we're going to do hopefully I want to do an episode where I just scroll down the Twitter here, and when there's videos, we'll watch them. We'll see what's being said on the Twitter. From the PSYOP, this is like somebody who believes it's a PSYOP, essentially, and they're quite happy to say that. So I've invited them on if they want to come and talk, but instead we'll probably just like watch what they say on their videos and then say, what do you think? I don't know, what do you think? So we'll look through some of these videos on the PSYOP angle. That one's coming. And we've got lots more body language to analyse. We've got the police to analyse as well. Bear in mind, if you're watching this channel, there is an extensive Nicola Bulley playlist, and I've got my B-side channel battery exhausted and other channels. So you go at this top line here, subscribe, of course, make sure you subscribe, and then you go to either community if you want to see the posts. The internet went down earlier, I had to post about it. Or you can go to channels if you want the other channels, subscribe to them, have a look. Podcasts is thus. Live is what we're doing right now. If you want the playlists, they are there. You can binge on them. Mad Guy McCann, Nicola Bulley, the podcast, Tartaria Uncovered, indie game streams, and the whole stream archive. It's all sort of there. So there's big playlists in big chunks if you want to get your playlist on, or you can just scroll down the lives and have a look and see if there's one you haven't seen before from the past. Same with the videos, although I used to upload a load of Genshin Impact videos here, now it's on its own channel, but you might find something fun here that you haven't seen yet that you might want to look at. So I would urge you to do that, because there's a lot more here than just the live you've seen today. I'm back tomorrow then. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. We're in the week leading up to, let me just check that on the calendar. On the Google Calendar. Yeah, this is when we said we were going to do it. Look, Choc streams. Yeah, Choc streams. So we're bringing it forward by a day, but that's fine. This is the week of Easter in the UK. So we're going to do our Choc streams. I'll make myself a bit of vegan chocolate cake and I'll eat that on the stream. You can all bring your favourite chocolates to eat when you're watching it, and we can discuss. First of all, we'll just list them. We'll make a big list. I'll take all the photos. We'll have fun finding photos of our favourite chocolates. We'll make the tier list maker, and if we've got time in the same stream, we can do the tier list. If not, I don't expect we will. We'll do it on a separate stream the next day, but we'll make our tier list, and then the tier list maker will be there for everyone else to use if they ever want to use it. I imagine there is one already with British chocolate, but we'll make our own. Yeah, we'll make our own fun. That's the plan. And you can all have your votes in chat. Anything goes tomorrow as well. Anything goes. You can bring your fun, bring your ideas. We can have a little look at some videos on the internet even. We can have a look at some old... I'll tell you that. There's an idea. Here's an idea. Old adverts. We can have a little look at some old adverts as well. I probably shouldn't play them now because it will get us binned off on the copyright. But I don't mind if the chocolate stream gets binned off of the copyright. It'd be funny, wouldn't it? So we can have a look at some old adverts. Ah, there's a new advert. That doesn't get you binned off on the copyright. This sort of thing. Do you remember this?
Who's Cadbury's Whispers?
Do you remember that?
How do you mean odd? Well, like, inside they're sort of...
Can't play any more of it. It'll get us binned off. We can look at your favourite commercials as well. That's a good combination, isn't it? Chocolate and commercials. There you go. Look, vintage UK sweets and snack adverts. Retro Steve UK. Brilliant. That's exactly what I want. We'll watch some Retro Steve. That's bang on, isn't it? I'll subscribe to him now. We can watch that. So, yeah, if you want to watch stuff on the internet now, don't go anywhere else. Stay on my channel, you chuffer. Go and watch my other videos. Like, there's loads more of me. There's lots more of me. And then we'll be here tomorrow, similar sort of time, probably tea time-ish if the internet's working. Probably about 5-ish onwards to do a big list of chocolate, get them all on the list, and then we're going to do the tier list. Shell Bell says she looks forward to arrests. That's not very chocolatey, but yeah, arrests as well. Paul Ansel and Emma White. That would be fun. I'd also like to shout out Mispa. because I think I recorded a little bit of an interview from their channel the other day. This is their TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, although I had to load onto it in order to see their TikTok. So I'm a bit worried that I've loaded onto TikTok now. I never said I would, but now I have. And they've got lots of Nicola Bulley clips as well, but I'm not, like, little clips, little 2-second clips, not enough. I need the full interview, but shout out to them, I suppose, as well. So that's gone. Virgin Media. You've got 5 minutes now. T-minus 5 minutes. If you want to say thank you to each other. I want to say thank you to you. I want to say thank you to everyone who's tippied. I want to say thank you to everyone who's done a super chats. I want to say thank you to all you in chat for being good chuffers. Because I'll tell you for why. I'll tell you for something. I'll tell you for something and I'll tell you for why. Is we only had one timeout today, and I think it might have been I might have been a bit hasty with the timeout. You know, they might not have been going that off it. But you managed to get through all this stuff without having big arguments. I know some people have got different opinions on things. We managed to get through it without having big arguments. People have got different opinions, and they can voice them in our chat. We can look into their ideas, and even if they're like, I don't agree with the ideas, I'm not going to say, oh, F you and your ideas, oh, I'll put you in the bin, poo-poo you. I've done some of the stuff. I've done some of my lives on conspiracy theories. I've done a couple of them on conspiracy theories, and I'm like, I don't really believe in all this nonsense that you're saying about giants, for example. That one, giants, that one. I don't think you can have giants. I've done an episode on it, so if you think you might, then have a look in the giants one. But and the likes as well today. We've got to check the likes. I've got to give the money to charity. We've got 433 likes in total. 433. So if you want to knock it up to 500, and we'll give 25 to UNICEF. Now's your chance to hit the like button right at the end. 100 likes equals £5 to charity. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. We'll give UNICEF their money. You've got a quick chance now to bang on those likes if you haven't already done so, and get that money to UNICEF. We will choose a different charity in the future if people want, but at the moment this is my favourite, easiest, aimed at children, like help for children. So UNICEF, it's international. I feel happy with UNICEF, and it works as a donation portal on the internet. I'm able to donate quite, straightforward with my PayPal. I don't even know if I said it today, did I? I was having the internet problem in the last episode. Like, we had a disconnected stream today, but 100 likes does equals £5 to UNICEF today. So I'll leave it a little bit longer for you to hit that like button if you feel like it, because we're up to 460, so we're not far off that extra £5 to UNICEF. Yeah. And you've got time to say happy to everyone. Thank you to everyone in chat. I've posted my coffee.com, didn't I? I did post that, didn't I? Yeah. That's how you tip me if you fancy tipping me. I'm really pleased with you lot in chat as well. Like I said, I think it's sometimes difficult topics, and if we get to things that are divisive and difficult, it's important that we get together at the end and say, look, we might have differences of opinion, but this is what I was going to say about the Giants thing. Let me just get back to... the likes are coming in, so let me say my point about the Giants thing, and then I'll give the money to charity. Some people believe there might have been giants back in the day. I didn't think so, because I think physiologically it's not that, like, your heart isn't going to pump. If you're a giant, your heart might not pump the blood. You might have to have giant blood vessels. We had dinosaurs. Anyway, well, I did a whole episode on it, right? And at the end of it, though, my point is not that if you believe in giants, you're a chuffer and fuck you and go home. That's not my point. My point is, people are out there trying to confuse you all the time. They want your money. For a start, they want your money, don't they? Like, if you buy their book, or you're interested in their YouTube show, or you're sending them your super chats, thank you very much, or you're whatever it is. Like, there's ways to grift people in this world, and I don't like it. I find it despicable. And one of them is to send them heads full of a load of conspiracy nonsense. And once you're full of all that conspiracy nonsense, and you're down that road, and you're in their club, and you're sending them super chats, and like they're making their videos, there's a lot of them like that on the internet. So that giants goes into that area. But if you're somebody that watched their videos and sent them money and thought giants, and got a bit excited by it, I'm not angry at you. I don't care. It's not like I'm like, oh, you bad chuffer, you naughty chuffer. John sent the Source Network has sent me an email. Thanks, I'll look into it. I'll try and look into it. And thank you, Miss L. Thank you. Yeah, I think what it is I don't mind if you've got funny different ideas. I think you're still a human being, and I think if I made some nice dinner, you might want to sit down and have a bowl, you know, a nice bowl of vegan soup or something, nice vegan stew. Like, we could have a bowl together. We could talk about something that we could find common ground on and see positively together. Like, we don't have to argue about giants all night. And I worry about people who are trying to lead people off the path, trying to confuse them, trying to get them, you know, off the path. So instead, I'd rather, like, people who I think are being led off the path or confused, I'd rather be like compassionate and kind to them so that they might feel like they could come and join in. So if people have got different ideas, I'm never going to be like, oh, you don't agree with me in chat, right, fucking off with you then, bin you off. Like, no, it's a place for different ideas here and for different sorts of people. So you might not all agree with each other in chat sometimes. Same thing. I'm really glad that you didn't, like, sometimes it can break out into an argument in people's chats. We don't do that here. It doesn't happen. I'm really grateful that you're all good people. I'm really, like, you know, I see you all being, you know, good people in chat. So thank you very much. You are all good. That's the main thing. You're all good. Not so much Emma. Emma, not so much. Obviously, not so much Emma. But thanks very much, Emma, for providing so much recorded evidence of you talking on interviews. That was a good thing you did. Thank you for that. It's given me a lot of stuff that I can look at and draw on. And ultimately, I don't make a big plea about, it's up to the police to bring Nicola's murderers to account. And like, I don't know her children and her family, and like, obviously I care about their feelings, but do you know what I mean? I don't know them. I'm just a chuffer on the internet making content, but I do care, and I do hope that they have some resolution to all this, and that the truth comes out, and that somebody along the line somewhere admits it and says, you know, all right, put my hand up, I'll accept it. You know, somewhere, somebody, Emma, might have to go. I don't think it would be Emma. I think maybe Paul, maybe, I don't know. Emma or Paul, one of them. Somebody's going to have to come forward, aren't they? But yeah, like, you know, I'm just a chuffer on the internet. We're just people in chat. So, like, it doesn't go that deep for me. But maybe you're a reflection of me, chuffer. Yeah, if you like hanging out here and you like what I'm like and you like hanging out, maybe it is. You know, I hope that we're broad enough that lots of different people could find this place comfortable. Maybe that. I don't know, yeah. Interesting thoughts. But yeah, mainly be good. And if you can't be good, oh, I brought it round. See how I brought it round. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll be back with the chocolates
again.
tomorrow.
I couldn't be happier.
And Sata sent tippies.
Just
Super
some time for some
Chuffer 07
tippies.
hugs.
Just some time for some tippies. Thank you. I'm glad I hung out for £7 more hugs. Thank you. You get some £7 more hugs yourself. Hugs, not drugs. And if I came to your house, says Catherine, it'd be like an episode of Louis Theroux. Maybe I should travel the country with my camera, inviting myself into people's houses. Apparently the police have been backed in the river. Like I said, I believe there is a piece of evidence that's in the river. I just, you know, quickly while you're saying this in chat, before I quickly do the sign off, they've alluded to it. We watch yesterday's broadcast, or the day before, or my last Emma broadcast. Go on Super Chuffer channel. Go up on the lives. This one, Emma White, more red flags. That one, more red flags. In that, she alluded to the fact that she brought in Peter Folding so that... It was in that one, wasn't it? She talked about Peter Folding. She said that there was a small piece of the jigsaw that they were trying to find. And so I imagine that it was something like car keys or something small that... I mean, I said it 4 days ago on the internet. Maybe they're watching, the police. But there's still something in the river that they've planted there that they wanted found. That's why they brought in Peter Folding, because he could find a small stone on the riverbed, she said. Well, you're not looking for a small stone. You're looking for a full person. So the idea that you were worried about finding a small stone is strange, unless you'd put phone on bench, harness on ground, car keys in river. Like, find them, assume it's in the river, suicide. It's evidence, isn't it? You know, so I think there was still something left that we haven't found yet, that Paul and Emma have laid as a decoy, and they're expecting someone to find. So maybe the police are looking for that. They could try magnet fishing there, yeah. But yeah. So yeah, we're going to give the money to charity. I didn't sign off. Good point. 500 likes. Good point. Glad I didn't. Let's go. We're doing a single donation of 25 notes donate now. It does ask me to put in my details, obviously, so I just move that out so you can't see it, and then it will come back in a second. So I'm putting in my deets now. Email, yeah, email. I don't want you to email me, obviously, but it already knows me, so I only have to type the first letter.
Margaret sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 5 hugs.
Thank you very much, Margaret, for the £5. I've got to be careful not to read out my address on the internet while I'm trying to write it in and reading out your super chat as well. But thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. It's helping. I put everything in a big kitty, and I'm trying to build a business out of it, a media company, so to speak. Not like a big company, but me and some other chuffers making some videos and stuff on the internet. And eventually, when it gets to sustainability, and we look for like a permanent, what's the word, sponsor, then donate with PayPal, please. Hang on, let me just check I'm doing this. Giving a single donation of 25 PayPal, yeah. Then, you know, I'd like it to be sustainable. I'd like to be able to take a wage from it, but at the moment I don't. I put it into the kitty and we try and make media from it. So things are going well, and I'm really grateful. And I'm really grateful for your support. Complete purchase, PayPal balance, yes. Thanks for using PayPal. No, thank you for allowing me to make a donation. Boost it. Yes, I'd like to do the gift aid. Okay, it's on its way already. I missed the gift aid click, but that doesn't matter. There it goes there. Douche. Thank you, your donation's on its way. £25 will be helping to provide. Like, obviously, I could just, like, you have to trust me that I've done that in a way, because I could just get that picture, I'm just realising, and just show you the picture every time. But the other option is I could show you in my PayPal that I'm giving the money, but, like, I don't think I have to go any further than that, do I? I never realised that I could actually just... Now I'm thinking to myself, should I just screen grab that and just show you that every time? But it is actually a live... Actually, no, I can prove it's a live one. Hang on. I can prove it, look. Those happy kiddies. At least someone's getting some happiness in the world. That's my web browser there on top, look. And you can see donate UNICEF. Thank you for donating. Single donate. Thank you, look. So it is actually literally their website. So it's fine. The chuff before you won't go chuffing by Super Chuffer. Source Networker, I can't really make head and tail out of that one. Chuffer merch, we should have Chuffer merch. There was a copper involved. There's all sorts of things, you know, that I don't know about. Maybe we're going to look at this big long list of psyop things. Remember, in another upcoming episode. And if you want a bit more, if you want a little bit more, check out the B-side. Check out me on Twitch. Check out me on Twitter, and check out me other videos. But you've been good. We've all done a bit of good here now today, haven't we? We've all done a bit of good today, because you've all been involved, and somewhere around the world we've pushed on a little bit of goodness somewhere. So you be good, and remember, if you can't be good,